Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a big whale stream, all level 100s, except for myself. Packaging dude, my man, how's it going?
Great, Randy. Thanks for having me.
We had a pretty fun weekend at San Diego Comic-Con. How many days did you go there?
My son and I went. Actually, my wife, my son, and I went for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then which day? Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah. It was our first time, first Comic Con ever.
So what did you think of it? Because this is like one of the biggest in the country.
Yes. Well, we live locally, so we live between San Diego and Tijuana. So for us, just a short drive. I really wanted to stay in San Diego, but yeah, it was exciting. It was very different. I mean, overwhelming. A lot of great people. I mean, the main reason was to be there with our VeVe family, right?
Yeah.
But we traveled. Like I was telling the interview that I got with Aaron is that it was awesome. Hey, my daughter. So just I was we were walking around with our VeVe shirts, my son and I, and just the feeling that we got from the external community, which is our partners, business partners, and I wasn't expecting that, so that was beautiful.
You've kept I feel like a pretty low profile over on. I don't know how many people knew, like outside of spaces, like how many people there are like no, versus people that you've seen like post randomly.
I'm like that, Randy. I like low profile. This is, thank you thank you for inviting me. Thanks for your viewers to have this opportunity. My wife gives me a hard time because she says you're always connected and hearing Randy's podcast, and she's just when you meet her, she's jealous of you. Okay.
There's a couple of people that I've had the same interaction with multiple people where their wives are just like, "My husband listens to you in bed." It's like,
well, I didn't want to go there, but
yeah.
So, yeah. Hey,
So
let's get this bread. So I'm sorry, I
so
didn't answer. I don't know if I answered your question.
oh yeah, what surprised you about it? What was the best part of Comic-Con?
That the interaction and just the way we, as a VeVe ambassador, because I consider myself, as you're walking with a shirt, you identify as, hey, I'm part of this community, right? So just the feedback and how everyone welcomes you. We went to Decon. What was it? 2 years ago? I mean, if it was a very small venue, but this was amazing. And I already booked New York, so my wife and I are going.
All right.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Hey, Randy.
We got Packaging Dude saying that he's already booked New York, and we have a where are you staying in New York? Can you say?
I don't know. I mean, we got a recommendation on the level 100. Well,
Okay, y'all stay in the same hotel.
I think we're all trying to stay at the same hotel.
Cool.
Let me send a message to Dr. Rolex to see where he's.
Yeah, he said he'll try to make it work. He'll be on at some point.
Oh, okay.
We happen to have we had like the party house on where I was, so it was like the levels didn't really matter. But there was people there generally from 9:30 in the morning until 5:30 in the morning the next day, like every day. It's pretty awesome. Always something going on. Always people there. It was pretty wild. I don't know if we'll do the same thing in New York. It was fun. I'd love to do it again. But yeah, there's a lot of craziness.
Randy,
what you got there?
I'm channeling. Is that the right term? Channeling David Yu?
Yeah. What is that Pokemon?
Yeah. So that's why I'm.
Love the Eevee. And then you have the Addiction comics as well, which are great. You have is that the first one from New York Comic Con?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the VeVe pizza.
Yeah. Very nice.
Can you guys publicly talk? Well, not everything, but as far as level 100s go, any additional perks that is public, or is that supposed to be kept secret?
So not about public or not. So I think the first most important thing to kind of cover is there's level 100 prestige 1. So the prestige 1 is basically the first 50 people that hit level 100. So I think there's about 29, maybe 30 people now. So it's another 20 more to go before that gets capped. So that's prestige 1. So whatever they're doing now is geared towards prestige 1. It's not that it's geared towards all level 100s forever, right now, something like that. So that's the kind of the first point to make. It's not an uncapped thing. The second, specific to your question about, what are some of those perks and stuff like that, I think there's a number of things actually. The first one obviously is this pin that you see, the level 100.
Oh, the pins,
yeah. So the level 100 pin is something with which the team recognizes who the level 100s are and things like that. So that's sort of the first thing to know. There is a person from the VeVe team that is focused on level 100. So, they're in a chat with all the level 100s. They're very attentive. They listen to a lot of the feedback and things like that. And then whenever any level 100 is going to a specific IRL VeVe event, that individual kind of is responsible for making sure, like they get all the criteria. So they're communicating what are all the level 100 kind of activities during that event. I don't think there's any paper published. Maybe there might be one in the future or something like that. So it's not, I don't think it's fair to say that whatever treatment we got, we're going to get forever and ever or whatever. I think it's probably better for it to get published. But if you're level 100, the team knows about it. When you come there, they're waiting for you. A lot of times there will be merch. In this past event, there was merch specific for level 100s. I don't want to go through it, in much detail because, it's something very special that David had brought for us. So anyways, I don't want to go over that in much detail, but it's very, very special. It's very unique. Just the 5 people, the level 100s that were there, got that, and David kind of shared the significance behind that merch as well, which is quite something. So that's another kind of thing. I think another element to it is there is a level 100 Discord where there's a discussion, both voice and chat, and announcements and giveaways, and not giveaways. I think more like the those sweepstakes kind of things.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a smaller group. When you arrive at the VeVe, booth, they kind of invite you in, which is kind of cool. So they ask you to come in, and then you can leave your stuff inside the booth, and you get the inside view, and everybody greets you and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. I mean, I think they definitely treat you very, very special. The comics as well. So they talked about any VeVe exclusive comics would be given to not just the level 100s that are there, but to all level 100s. It'll get shipped, or I don't know the mechanics of it, but that's really nice as well. The VeVe exclusive covers that are IRL kind of things in the booth. There was something more that they said there. I don't want to say it till they kind of.
That's fine.
Till it happens. So
the dinners are amazing. I mean, where else could you be right there just talking with the CEO, right, of a multi-million-dollar company, and just the level of person that he is, that David is. That to me is the best perk. Dinners with Dave.
Yeah, that was I think one of the coolest things. So David basically invited us. Nobody else was invited. Nobody else on the team. It was just David and the level 100s. I suppose Dan would have been there, but Dan didn't go to that event. But that event, the 2 points I wanted to make there. One is David did not share any insider information or any such thing. That didn't happen really. Number 2 is that David was very clear about one topic. He said, look, I know people have talked about, hey, giving low mints and this, that, and the other to people. And he said, look, we want to keep the drop mechanic very fair for all. So anything that's a drop, they won't alter the odds on that drop for, one group or another group or whatever, whether it's level hundreds or whatever. He's very clear. There's a fairness to VeVe, and that has to be kept, in the drop mechanic. Now, if it's a mint that VeVe has, they can do a giveaway, after the fact, right? If there's anything else they can do, for level hundreds, all this other comics and physical comics and stuff, but they won't screw around with the drop mechanic and the fairness there. So that was, I think, something that we all appreciated. I don't think anybody, just because you're level 100, you expect to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like packaging, maybe you can chime in on that equality, that, fairness element
that's
meant
the word
a lot to him. And
I think it meant a lot to us. And you know what? Before that dinner, I knew when I met David and Dan at the DesignerCon, that's when I met him. I said, you know what? These are the type of CEOs and owners of a company that I want to work for, right? The true leaders, where they lead by example, and the core values that they have, it goes across the company. So as an investor, right, and a collector, I want to be part of this community, right? So that's when I started to go hard on VeVe after DesignerCon
22.
Yeah.
Great time.
The dinner, the other part of the dinner. So so I told you about the things that what meant to David in terms of no inside information and the equality part. But then there was something very special that happened there at that dinner. I've attended a lot of board meetings. As CEO of a company, I was presenting to a board along with my management team. I've been numerous board meetings of different types, for-profit, not-for-profits, public and private. And that dinner felt like very much the opening monologue that David shared was very much akin to a CEO's monologue to, in a board meeting. He basically talked about the vision for VeVe. He talked about the operating environment, the industry. He talked about NFTs and, crypto and Web3 and just that overarching view, bird's eye view of how he sees not just VeVe, but the whole vertical. Then he talked about some of the different competitors in the space, the challenges and, things like that. He talked a little bit about some of the opportunities in the space. So that conversation was very, very rich. Packaging, maybe you can kind of.
Sanjay, and you never hear Dan or David talk bad about competition.
Never.
And that to me is also like, it's worth everything. Honestly,
Great point.
Great point. I'm in sales. I never talk bad about competition. Competition is actually good, right? But you see a lot of competitors, somehow directly or indirectly talking bad about our community. We never do that. David will never do that. So that's also something that it's amazing.
Yeah, he carries himself very well. Just no bad words about any company. I think he kind of articulated a few thoughts in a very crisp and direct manner. It was not mixing words in that sense. Mm-hmm. But he talked, about each of the competitors, and he talked about some of the challenges, and he said, look, we help them well. He says, sometimes when you look at the fans, you think that these companies are at odds with each other. But on the other hand, they actually collaborate on the back end. There's requests to collaborate and things like that. So there's a lot of healthy respect amongst the founders of these companies. It's a very small space, there's a lot of struggles in the space. And so these guys, and VeVe is the bigger of these companies. So a lot of the other companies actually talk to each other and, see how they can help each other. And then he talked about strategy. The strategy is, I can't cover that. That's for David to share directly. He can, it's his thoughts. He can share that directly with you guys whenever he wants to. But he was crisp, man. He was very crisp on the strategy in terms of, I walked away very, very, very impressed with the strategy of VeVe, with the IPs and with all of that, how they're handling the whole thing and how they're handling the market and the different things like that. So very impressed.
Passion and energy.
Words from Ernie Malice, one of the other whales at the dinner. It said, "I've never been so confident in the future of a company in my 40-year history in business than I am now with this company. As David outlined the plans for the future and all the things that are being accomplished that come into focus over the next few quarters are rare." Yeah. So he's very excited, and we'll get a little more OMI for him after as he comes back from his next business venture.
Yeah. It was great to meet Ernie, by the way, and chat with him. The other thing is, if you look at all the level hundreds that were at the table, each one of them is very, very thoughtful, hardworking, brilliant, and they're all no nonsense guys. You know, when they get a chance with David, they're going to ask you blunt questions, straight as is, minus any positive, minus any negatives, just a straight up question. Things like, "So David, what do you think about OMI, the future of OMI? Hey, we've seen OMI was slow in the past in terms of getting off the ground, but now we see some momentum. Where do you see this going? How do you see OMI developing?" You know, these kinds of questions. Obviously, David's very guarded how he responds to some of those things, but the questions were direct, and he answered a lot of them. I mean, it was great to that Q&A was one-on-one Q&A over dinner was amazing. I say I really valued it.
So if there was and I know it's hard to put price tag on it, but let's try to do it. If you were interested in investing in a company and like, okay, this is a Q&A that you can go to, how much would this dinner be worth? 10,000?
I don't know. You know, I don't put a price tag on dinners like this. I mean, these are priceless kind of things, right? Priceless. In fact, when Eagle Eyes first chatted with me, and he said, you know, what do you guys think about the level 100? What types of benefits? And the first comment and feedback actually I had for him and for David were, the level hundreds are not really looking for a discount on collectibles. We don't want that. You know, McFarlane does that, and that's great, but we don't need that. We don't want that. You know, if everybody else is paying $30 for a drop, I don't think we want it for 25. The $5 is not going to make or break us. Don't want to feel special in that manner. You know, $5 special, just don't need it, man. So I said, you know, when you think about the level hundreds, think about experiences, think about those kinds of things that prestige. And I think maybe that's how they came up with the name Prestige One. So think about prestige, think about those kinds of exclusive events, things like that. And they did a phenomenal job.
That money can't buy.
Things that money can't buy.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather do a dinner with David and Dan in that manner with a small group of level hundreds or whatever it is, or I'd rather go and be invited to a cocktail party with 5 top artists, or maybe get invited to a Peach Momoko private auction and signing, or you know, the last one I just made up, but something like that. You know, those kind of things are very interesting. Or if you have access to certain graded comics with signatures.
If I could say something,
yeah,
Sanjay, it's like if you would put a price tag to it, I know that every Comic-Con, the price would go up 20-25%, keep going up and up and up, honestly.
Oh.
There's we were talking about competition before, and there's a couple of other, I don't even know if they'd call them competitors, a couple of people in the space. Like we just had, I think it was on Candy Digital, they had the Justice League of America come out. There is, I think, 2,500 mints. And I think it did fairly well as far as selling a decent amount, making a couple grand. From what I've noticed, and Sanjay will definitely be able to expand here on what I'm putting down. Typically, when you have a company like this that can do deals, all right, do they do big deals slowly or do they do small deals really quickly? And those are usually the two categories that successful businesses fall in. It seems like VeVe can do a little bit of both. Over on Comic-Con weekend, I think they did 180,000 in just primary sales. And I would consider a 6-figure deal or 6-figure deals fairly big. You know, a lot of the ones like they did today did like 38, 39,000. But it seems like Hero, Candy Digital, McFarlane, a lot of these other companies that they kind of only just have one IP and they're kind of limited to what they can do. What are some tricks that these other companies can do that maybe VeVe can't, because VeVe kind of has a bunch of different masters to serve? They have a bunch of different IPs they have to make sure are okay.
I mean, if I were any of VeVe's competitors, I would do what VeVe does faster, better. Because when you're second, you've got to be a fast follower, right?
Yeah.
So VeVe takes years to kind of negotiate these deals. They really go through the struggles with all the legal teams, convincing them, getting the language right, and all that stuff. I mean, if you're like a competitor, you'd go in and you'd say, "Hey, listen, I want to do this deal. Can we copy the template and do something, different in that space?" And that's what competitors have to do. And it's good for the overall space. That's how every market works, right? You want competitors to be strong as well in this space. I mean, we don't work for VeVe, man. We're customers at the end of the day, right? And the competition, if there's competition out there, it's a good thing, because it keeps the company on its toes. It keeps quality up. There's a lot of benefits to that. So I really want to see Cryptoid succeed. I want to see Pinnacle succeed. I want to see Candy and all these guys all succeed.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see them all kind of go from first gear to second gear.
In my opinion, Randy, it's all about the CEO, the management team, the leaders in the company. You have the same technology, you can have the same IP, but if you don't have the passion and the drive, my God, I think David only sleeps like 4 hours a day, right? So, especially in a new marketplace, in a new technology, everything's so new that you need that passion, you need that diligence, like every day, you need the grind. And if our competitors don't have that, they're not going to grow.
Yeah. Agreed. So, Packaging Dude, this one is for you. VeVe the other day posted out a poll saying, what was your favorite pieces of content from San Diego Comic-Con? And the lists were daily event recap videos, community interviews, VeVe booth coverage, and the last one, which was the winner, was con exclusive drop info. Which one of those do you think is most important, and which one is your favorite as well? And do they intersect?
I love the con exclusives. I love that, and kind of going to different booths and for that specific VeVe content, and then the interaction within our booth, which I understand why it was small, and that's why I'm going to New York Comic Con, because I was promised I was going to be like 3 times as large.
Yeah. So, are you going to D23?
No, I can't.
I mean, it'll be a little bigger. That booth there will be a little bigger, and then at New York it'll be even bigger than that. So yeah, it'll be nice and big. What about you, Mr. MC1? You going to D23?
I want to, but I can't. With too much work going on, man. I've still got freaking. I don't know if you can see it. That table used to be full of hats. Now it's down to like a quarter. So I've got like, this week got shot, man. I had to send out all those Ecomi hats, and then I can't do D23, but I will be. Randy, you and I are doing New York.
It's like, where's my hat?
Sanjay, you need to cover this. Sanjay, you need to cover it.
So, didn't I send you a level 100 hat?
No.
Okay. See, seriously, please send me your address. I'll ship you one right away. Okay. Literally tomorrow, Monday morning, first thing I'll do is I'll ship your hat for you. I have one here for you. So I got 20 made for the first 20, but then I remembered I gave David and Dan the first 4 of them, so that doesn't count. So I've got this one's for you, my friend.
Thank you. I need to protect this from the sun.
Yeah, can get sunburned. Big Ass, how many level 100s? There were 29. There might be 30 now. I think Todias, Adam, I think he's level 100 now. But yeah, so you said that particular level 100 prestige +1, that's the first 50, right?
Prestige 1, yeah, that's the first 50.
And then there'll be
Prestige 2 after that.
okay, cool. So they each have their different levels.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
I guess.
different. Kind of,
So what happens in 5 years when there's like 2,000 level 100s? Does that
I don't
do they
know.
have like? Is there going to be any like okay, first OGs, and is there going to be tiers? I know there's already tiers with the prestige ones, but can there be right now if you have a level 100 that's just hitting versus a level 100 that's there right now? I feel like eventually they could have more points depending on how much they spend. If they continue to spend, like Bezoj man, is he level 100? He's got to be, right?
Oh yeah, must be.
And he's I didn't really hear of him 2 years ago. I feel like he's kind of just
Yeah,
been on the scene the last year.
Don't know the thing there, but there's a number of people that hit level 100. I mean, if you're close, you probably want to get there. You don't do anything silly, financially, but you want to make sure that if you're shaping up to be the 51st level 100, probably want to speed it up a little bit.
Buy a bunch of dollar comics.
I don't know what you ought to do, man. I can't tell you what to do, but you definitely want to be in that prestige one.
Let's get speculative over here. Let's get the conspiracy theories rolling. There's a theory that Steve Eisman is Bezoj man, because he was in an interview a few months ago saying that he owns like 10,000 comics, and he says he owns them on like his Kindle or tablet or whatever. Now, when asked directly if they were NFTs, he said no, but there was a pause. Like it took him a little too long to answer. He's like, no. So I believe that there's a greater than 0% chance that Steve Eisman is Bezoj man. What do you think? Am I crazy, or is there some truth to this?
I don't know, man. Like I would really speculate, but whoever it is a beast, man. He is buying a lot of Disney stuff, though, right? So the one thing you'd see is this person is a buyer of a lot of Disney stuff. I mean, they buy other stuff too, but they buy a lot of Disney stuff. And when you look at the wallet, they just go crazy in the market, man. They're not just all drop stuff. I mean, they just eat up. Choose out comics, man. Choose out collectibles.
Great. What about you, packaging dude? Who do you think it is? Think it's him? Do you think it's someone else?
I really don't know, Randy. Honestly.
I was going to ask Dr. Profit if that's him, but I don't think it is him.
No, it's not him.
But didn't we think it was a company?
Yeah, that we were speculating that it could be a company hiring one person to just buy it. There was some dude yesterday or 2 days ago was on the channel. It was on the channel just a comment. He just said he sold like 60 comics the last week, and every single one of them was to Bezoj man. Like Bezoj bought every single one. I was like, oh, person just sits there and buys every minute of every day.
I don't know if that's true, but he does buy a lot. So,
well, in a 40-hour week. So there is now that we have some whales here, obviously you guys have some OMI, obviously you guys have a bunch of VeVe stuff. 2 days ago, the Bitcoin mining difficulty reached an all-time high after a 10.5% adjustment. In absolute terms, it was the largest difficulty increase of all time. In percentage terms, this was the 24th biggest increase since 2016 and the 73rd biggest since 2012. And then you have Morgan Stanley telling wealth advisors that they can pitch Bitcoin ETFs in a first for major Wall Street firms. When you guys talk about other investments, do you do safety like Bitcoin and ETH? Do you do a little more speculative, like some micro caps, but they still have revenue? Or do you guys do meme coins?
I have some part of my wealth in crypto. The part that is in crypto, a third, maybe a little more than a third. I think about 45% is Bitcoin and ETH. That's it. And then the rest of it, I believe, in the RWAs. By the way, it's not financial advice to anybody to buy anything. I may be fully wrong about it and stuff, but I'm a believer in Avalanche, so I have Avalanche. I like the whole interoperability play, so I have the layer 0, 1, chain link, those kind of things. So I typically look at any of these coins that have some underlying activity that I can see a future with. Yeah. And so I'm not into generally I'm not into meme coins. I might pick up a little bit of Doge here and there. Might pick up a little bit of this, that, and the other thing once in a while. But that's just like very small amounts just to be on the ride. But I'm not really into meme coins very much. But I am a believer in OMI, which is a utility token. I can see the underlying utility kind of developing. So personally, that's why I'm into OMI. But otherwise, I'm into mostly the other, Avalanche, a little bit of Mutable, those kind of things. Solana, I have a little bit of Solana too.
What about you, packaging dude?
Real estate.
All right, so you go super safe with it.
Super safe. Yeah. Trying to keep a balance. Of course, I max out my 401k and all of that. But then I don't invest in meme coins, honestly. The only ones that I've invested are the ones I've heard in your channel, Randy.
Yeah, Definity and OMI.
I have Definity and I have Bumper, a little bit both.
I did pretty good on some of them, yeah. So, and I still have them. So, not financial advice. I always wanted to say that.
And if you do take it, man, God bless you. God save you.
Yeah. So yeah, and I also a lot of investment in AI, either in stocks or in crypto that has to do with AI. I really think that's the future, and real world assets as well. Hey, sleeping. I need one of your caps.
I think he sold out of his. I have 3 of his. I have the blue one, I have a white one, and a black one.
I'll offer some OMI. I'll buy it in OMI from you, Randy.
Okay, that'll work. I got the. I mean, I need the white one because I need it because that's the secret rare.
Yeah, just kidding. I'll probably get the next phase, the next deal.
Yeah.
If he does, well, I guess that's for sleeping if he wants to do more. Yeah, he has guaranteed sales.
Randy, I did want to make one more point, man. I think this conversation would be incomplete without making this point. So this is a conversation I had with David when I was getting the hat signed. So the message that he gave me was, look, you guys had a meeting on X with everybody. You had a lot of ideas. You guys wrote them down. The team has it. The team has taken it to heart. They are looking through every one of them. They're looking at how they can implement different ones. And so all that feedback's been given. So he said, if you guys, if you want to think through things, there are 2 things that, spend your time and, thinking through. The first one, he said, was this level 100 thing is a start. VeVe's done that. They're doing it. That's like a check. It's going to keep running. But his focus was like, how do we now bring this program through all of VeVe, where there's an incentive for everybody. If you have 1 comic, you get to 10. If you have 10, he didn't use the numbers, but the whole thought process, how do you get people at different levels of engagement with VeVe to go through it, right? VeVe is not going to be the company that's only focused on level 100. It may seem like that today because it's they started. It's good that they started from, the level 100s, but that MCP is there. It's MCP for everybody, but they understand that for MCP to work, you have to have these mechanisms to kind of, take the people through it. So start thinking about that. And I believe that is an opportunity. I don't think that just sort of keep talking about level 100s and what these guys, 29 or 30 people get is that'll happen, right? It's already there. That'll happen. Put it aside now. Let's not keep talking about it. In fact, there'll be dinners at these IRL events. There'll be merch. There'll be comics. There's all this other stuff. That's going to keep continuing. But the focus should be on, for every VeVe user, how do you have that, collecting? How does collecting drive you to go to the next level? Sure, you have the points. Sure, you have levels. But there's got to be some mechanisms, additional kind of things to help. With MCP is the track how do you kind of create more engagement on those tracks? So I'd love to see that. So that's the first point. I think the second point was, he said, when we sit and listen, on X and in other places, and people's ideas and emails and DMs and all this stuff comes into the team, there's lots and lots of ideas. And there's no shortage of ideas. But what he's saying is, for VeVe to be successful, they have to focus on a few big things as well, right? And for sure, he's working on some IPs and he's working on all those kind of things. But his ask of me was focus on the big things. There's like, and I think I took that paper a little too far. The paper that I did. So I listened to everybody on X. I wrote a paper. There's like 50 ideas in it, right? And I sent all of them to the team with the intent that they'll sort through it, right? There's a degree of difficulty. There's an opportunity, and this, that, and the other. But if I follow David's conversation, looking ahead, my feedback will be less number of things, but bigger and higher value opportunities. Yeah, can we get this other one little thing that can, with the drop that we can do something? Yeah, those are all feedback. Not saying don't give those feedback. You can keep giving it in Discord and this, that, and the other. And, there should be a big list and they sort through it and do it. But in terms of, community feedback to VeVe, there's got to be a mechanism by which we can elevate it,
I think that in the near future, everyone that's right now in the community, it's going to be an OG. It's going to be considered an OG. We might not feel like it, and we get anxious because we want to get to that level. I mean, if right now I'm a level 50 or 35, there's going to be a certain jump. Something's going to happen in the industry with technology, with augmented reality, with something's going to happen, and we're all going to be, wow, I am an OG. I thought that, it's going to be incredible. It's just a matter of time.
There's, I guess there's different levels to it. You have some people that think like, oh, if you were in 2020, you're like the OG of OG, like right when the app launched or even before it launched. I didn't get in until February 2021. I feel like most people would still say that. I think if you're in before Marvel and Disney, that's probably the I'd say an OG status. But yeah, in the year 2030, yeah, if you're there for 7 years, people are probably going to be considered that.
Yeah, and I think like Packaging Dude said, I walked away from the conversation feeling very comfortable that this is a company with a long-term vision, dedicated, hardworking founders and team. They might have had challenges. They may have more challenges as the economy and globally and the overall market for these things kind of has obstacles at different points in time. But they're committed. If they had to give up, they would have given up by now. There are many opportunities for them to stop and to give up and stuff, and they haven't. And one other point I wanted to make was David is the first guy in at Comic-Cons in the booth, first guy in, and he's the last guy out. Yeah. And I found out myself. So one of the days I have a regular pass, but one of the days I got in before everybody else, even the the guys who work in the booth and all that stuff. I came in before them because it just happened. There was a handicapped person or somebody was rolling them. I was talking to them, and I was just kept talking to them, and somebody invited me in. So I got in before everybody else, from the downstairs. Everybody else was upstairs, kind of trying to take the whatever to go into the thing. I was already in. I went in there. David was at the booth by himself, setting up and things like that. Yeah. So that type of dedication and commitment is very commendable. And not only that, I mean, he had tons and tons of meetings. Like he kept going to one hotel somewhere, meeting president of this company, some of the artists, reps want to meet him, this, that, and the other. Throughout the day, man, there's all kinds of meetings and stuff. So very hardworking guy, very, very hardworking guy. And that was great to see as well.
And he was on time. It's not like he arrived 5 minutes late. He was on time. Yep.
Yeah.
Salud, amigos.
Cheers.
Cheers, mates.
For a bright future, honestly.
I hate to cheers water, but the Comic-Con, I was drunk for like 72 hours, so now I didn't. Last drink was last Saturday, so I think I get like a pin for that or something, being sober for a week. I'll see how long I can keep up.
Are we going to tone it down a little bit in New York, or it's going to be?
Oh no, we're going hard.
hell no.
We're going harder in New York.
I heard that New York is crazy.
Yeah.
New York is the marquee event. Look, there's no disputing any of that. New York Comic-Con will be the marquee event. VeVe is working on an event. I don't know the details. I don't know the date. If I had to guess, I think it'll be Thursday, but I'm not sure. And then if there's this Thursday, mine will be Friday. So for the VeVe Gold and Silver logo holders, I'm actually going out to New York in the next couple of weeks for a different event. Randy and I are both there. We're there together, by the way, at that event in New York. But I'm also scouting around some locations and stuff. I have a few, places I'm looking at, and that event's going to be, I can't speak to VeVe's event, but my event's going to be very, very special, very spectacular. You're going to need a VeVe Gold logo to get in. And it's going to be very hard to squeeze a guest in or any such thing as well. Because it's going to be very limited space. I already have about at least 75 guests who are artists and IP and the team and others who are going to be there. And then within the gold logo holders, I already know at least about 75 that are going to be there. At least 75, just the logo holders alone. Wow. Yeah, forget the spouses. I mean, the spouses are always invited, right?
Heck the spouses.
So it's going to be super hard to get into that event unless you have a logo. So that's going to be another,
This is a question for you, Sanjay, and you, Randy. I mean, why do you think the East Coast parties or events is much greater than the West Coast?
Well, West Coast in general is just more chill. Like they're just more relaxed people, which is fine. East Coast, though, it's a lot easier to get more people there just because it's closer to Europeans. So it's a lot easier for them to get there. It's only like a 6 or 8 hour flight as opposed to like a 14-hour flight. And then outside of that, it's a lot easier. It doesn't matter if you're in Jersey or Pennsylvania or whatever. The train systems that go in there, it's just a lot easier as opposed to just one place in San Diego. And again, they fight for the number 1 and 2 spot for Comic-Con like every single year. They're always 1 and 2. Like Elon's like SpaceX and Tesla, they're always 1 and 2 schools. Or the 1 and 2 places that graduating engineers want to go and work. So it's similar for Comic-Con. And then
I agree with Randy. If you think about the last year, the first things first is it's very convenient for the Europeans. So there's at least about 20, 25 Germans who come down, some of them with their, significant others. You have a lot of people from France that come down, UK as well. I mean, there are people who already confirmed their travel. Like, especially if you're European, you already confirmed your travel. You're not waiting for the last minute tickets and stuff like that. So I already know a lot of the people. By the way, if you're listening to the stream and you're going to be in New York Comic-Con, if you're, just send me a DM. Let me know that, especially if you're from outside. If you're American, it's easier, it's different, But if you're European, just let me know, who you are and you're coming down, what days, and this, that, and the other, if you have the logistics and stuff. Because when we went to Europe, man, it was so amazing. The German fam basically came to the airport to pick us up. I will not forget that, man. Felix and Willie, they came to the airport and they waited for all of us to land. They were there for 3-4 hours and then, drove us down. And not from the airport to a hotel, which is like 30 minutes. They drove us from Paris airport to Auxerre, which was almost a 3.5-4 hour drive. I mean, they were amazing. So I want to make sure that the European fam are very, very well taken care of. And I want to plan some things for them. So I want to have a better understanding of who's coming and the count of people. And so obviously there are close friends of mine from Germany who are coming down, and those guys, this is going to be freaking absolutely covered and stuff like that. But yeah, that's one aspect in a lot of Europeans. I think the other thing is also VeVe does a production quality kind of event there. In San Diego, it was a movie. It was VeVe sponsoring a community kind of event, but in New York, they work with Ron English and with other people. I don't know who all are involved, but that's a pretty massive party, man. That's VeVe throwing that party. So So I think it's the marquee event. It's definitely the marquee event.
Well, thank you.
So, sorry, go ahead.
And another question, and I'm sorry, you're supposed to be asking the questions, Randy, but
No, by all means, it's roundtable.
How can we get the younger generation interested in our community? I mean, I do my son and my daughter, they're 22 and 27. I mean, they're active, but I would love that generation to be passionate about, because it's the future. Honestly, it's their future. I feel like everything that I'm building, I'm just gonna go like, here you go, son and daughter. Here it is.
There's three ways. If you talk about just the older Gen or like the Gen Zers that are old enough, or like the super young millennials that are in their 20s, I would say out of those three ways is to, because most of, I think in the bull market, there was maybe 92% of men that watched me, and now, or 92% of my viewers were men and 8% women. And now it's in the bear market, it's like 99% men and like 0.5% women. But I would say you would need, one, have positive role models, like positive, not just people that are good, but people that are also successful. And we're starting that with the groups. We have the Ecomi Secret Rare logo, the VeVe Secret Rare logo that Mr. MC1 started, both of those, the level 100s. And as long as it continues to be fun, and when you have the fun, that's what attracts a lot of people, especially if you get artists there, especially if you get kind of celebrities there. But then also, there's been a bunch of times in boxing gyms back in the day, or in just normal gyms that have boxing equipment, a lot of women get intimidated because there's just a whole bunch of men and they're cracking each other in the face. But if there's a lot more women there, then that's usually when a lot more women feel comfortable. Like, okay, all right, it's not just a boys' club, and I'm not going to feel awkward. So that really helps. And when guys are married and they bring their spouses, again, that also helps. And those are probably the clean ways to get everyone. But at the end of the day, also, you really need them to get the younger generation to kind of be in the working world and to get jobs, because it's a lot easier to have fun when you have money to spend. If you don't have that money to spend, then it's like kind of sitting on the sidelines watching everyone else get all the action. That's kind of mine.
No, I might have the old guy's version of this, the answer to this question. But when we were growing up, we had a very different approach to socializing. It was a few people that you met in the playground or in the library or at an event, and a social event or something, and that was your circle, and it was very much local. Today's generation, there are two sort of aspects to today's generation. It's a very show and tell kind of a generation with social media. Everybody's always posting. There's always, like, I'm surprised at the number of young women and guys who are dancing and doing all kinds of stuff. That's the first thing. So there's a lot of show and tell going on. The second thing is the show and tell is like ADD. It's like everything is 30 seconds or 15 seconds, and they're on to the next thing, and they're on to the next thing, and they're on to the next thing, and they're on to the next thing. So I think if VeVe can figure out how to manifest its content in a manner in which there's a lot more show and tell, and it's in the short format with TikTok, and X is still not the young guys' word. I mean, I think it's got to be more TikTok and those kind of things, Instagram. Yeah. And I think that in that space, it's also very heavily influencer driven, in that the first thing that anybody looks at, like, you can have a VeVe kind of a collectible with somebody doing something. The first thing they look at is not the collectible, but the guy who's posted it. How many viewers does he have? Or how many followers does he have? If he has, 200 million followers or 80 million followers, then they take it a lot more seriously compared to somebody who has 8 million and less seriously if it's 800,000 and less and less and less. So I think that there is, that there's something to that. VeVe has to catch on with influencers that have large following, that have cult following. Like, I think, Taylor Swift is one of them. I think even Blackpink, I think, leave all the other drop mechanics aside, but I think those are those are the kind of things that VeVe needs to get a lot more done. And I love what VeVe is doing with the shorter format content, but it has to be easy to go from the app. Like when you see a collectible in the app, when you bought something and you see it,
Yep.
there should be 5 filters to make it do something and go onto social media. You know what I mean? That's my take on it. I might be wrong about it, man. And I'm not an expert on it, but that'd be my guess.
I kind of made like an experiment. Like when I go to stores, right?
Mm-hmm.
Target, whatever. I always look at that section where the gift cards, right? And the ones that are always full, like it's the restaurants and when you go to the section where you have the Apple and you see less cards, but you go to the Roblox, there's always like just 3. So, and then my nieces, they socialize in Roblox. They socialize through these environments, right? Yeah. They're only 10 and 6, right? So that's our future. I mean, they don't. Yeah. How can we do something?
We got to make it fun. So right now it's fun on the app when you get a blind box, you get a secret rare. It's fun on the app when you flex, when you post on the feed, when you post on Insta. So you get the little bits of dopamine when you post and everyone likes it. Michael says behind the scenes, we're working on several new features of our community. Stay tuned. I don't know if that involves gaming. I don't know if that involves, but like you said, that's where a lot of people go and they, on Roblox and these tiny metaverses. If we can go, and I don't know how far along VeVeverse is. It's been in beta for quite a while. I expect it to be in beta for quite more while. But as they roll that out, it'll get more and more fun. And that's just with that. I don't know if you guys saw the ad today for Thor versus Doc Ock. Maybe they just made a really cool ad, and maybe that's just it. But it kind of looked like they were in arena. They kind of looked like they were ready to do battle. They kind of looked like they were ready to just do something. And maybe that's just me reading into it or trying to hype it up. But they started these metallic reds over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, and now they're finally adding to it. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to do certain types of gamification. And when we have a bunch of vehicles, all you got to do is make the wheel spin. That should come at some point. I'll tell you that will come at some point. I don't know when, but
every time I see my young nieces, they always ask me for the app. They want to play with the drivable cars and stuff. Like every time it's like, hey, uncle, can I play with the DeLorean? Can I play with this? Oh. It's there. I mean, and they are the influencers to the parents. Yeah. Right.
So my nephew, when the app first started, my nephew had his own account. But before all this KYC stuff, my nephew had his own account, and he would tell my brother, "This is Dad." He would basically say, "Hey, Dad, can you get this comic today? This comic is dropping on VeVe. Can you get it?" And sometimes, he'll ask, "Can I read this comic? Is this, is it age appropriate or whatever?" And he was like 7, 8 years old at the time, and he would go to school, and my brother would do the drop in the morning, and then when he comes back, he'd ask his dad, "Hey, did you get the comic?" And he would not ask, "What rarity do you want?" Or "What rarity did you get?" or anything. He wants to read it, and he actually opens it and read it. Which was there was one comic which had the red color cover. I think it might have. I say it's the Ultimate Fallout 4. I think. Okay. Yeah, the rare cover was the red one. That was the only one where he actually liked the cover, and he was like, "Oh my God, this is great! I love this cover. Can we get another one?"
I remember back in the old mechanics, I showed my mom how to do the.
There was one of the other ways I think you can make it fun, and this is not really just the app. This is the people on there. Kumo says in New York last year, got back to my hotel at 8:30 a.m. after the Gold and Silver logo party. We closed bar after bar. It was awesome. That's cool. Definitely a young person thing. There's I don't know what I like that how on Thor's hammer on this time it has whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. I don't know if you guys know Thor with 2 R's. He's from a universe where the quote says, "He who ever holds this hammer, should he be unworthy, shall possess the power of Thor," and it's Thor with 2 R's. I don't know if we'll ever get him, but he's one of my favorites. And if anyone's ever read Secret Wars, oh my God, I can't wait. I got to go see Deadpool again. That's why Alex isn't here right now. Alex L, because he's watching Deadpool again with some homies.
That's awesome.
Alex from the 100 Club?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was supposed to be out here. Rolex was supposed to be
bro.
out here. Rolex made a last-minute trip to Disney or something with some family, so he can't.
Oh, he's gone. Rolly.
Rolly's not going to make it. He's with family somewhere.
Yeah, Rolly. So last year at New York Comic Con, they Marvel kind of showed off at least Marvel's version of the new showroom, where you can put comics up on the wall and you can be able to do that. So G Money, if you missed last New York Comic Con, that is something that they already have. It's in beta right now. As it rolls out to more people, you'll be able to get that. Anything else that you guys have seen on there or would want to see in either beta or in the fleshed out VeVeverse?
I mean, I gave feedback to David on the VeVeverse, and what I shared with him was, I know that you're focused on a very high quality, high end VeVeverse with very high quality collectibles in format and a lot of different all collectibles in there and all that other stuff. What I shared with him is, look, if it's taking that long, why don't you roll out a playground? Just a basic version of VeVeverse. If there's 25 collectibles in there, that's fine too. 2 cars and I don't know, something like that, right? And it doesn't have to be super high quality, because if it's a slightly lower res, it can move faster, right? I'd rather have a normal car that drives super fast in the VeVeverse than, or in whatever playground. So that was sort of the feedback. And obviously, he didn't tell us what the current status is and what's going on there or any such thing. But we gave him feedback. At least I gave him feedback saying, hey, let's get this thing. Everybody wants to play with it. Why don't we just open it up? I mean, there's about 130, 150 people, might be bigger number now that have beta access to VeVeverse. Just make it bigger. Give it to everybody who wants it in a lighter version or lighter mode. Let everybody have some fun while you're building the main version of it. And then when you have your main version, you can say, okay, congratulations, now we go to V2 or V1. You can call this V0, right? Just to explore, play, whatever. A lot of people just want to play with it, man. So why not make it happen?
So we got a couple people that'll be here at New York City. People come from Germany, people come from all over. Did you guys get any of the fiches drop this past week?
Yeah, I got them all.
I'm just missing the secret rare.
Oh, damn. Well, it's going to be hard to get now because Brock has elected to burn everything that was not sold out, which I think was more than like half the supply. So Fiches made a nice little run. I think Venom's made a nice little run. People's vaults are pretty happy this past week.
Yeah,
I always try to support every independent artist that we have.
Yeah. I like Brock. I'm there to support Brock. So I went for the drop. I hit quite a few, and then I got the ultra rare and stuff like that. I might have hit it. I think I hit the button 8 times or 7 or 8 times or something like that. So the first 5 times, I think I got the uncommon or whatever. Nice. Then after that, I got the rare, and then hit the other one too. So
I don't know who had the most pulls today, but Rolly had 70. He bought 70 of the little Jawas, and he wound up getting 1 secret rare, so that was cool. I wish he would have got more, but yeah. What's your guys' record for amounts of pulls on a blind box?
I'm not going to comment on that. I'm a DJ. I don't want to ruin my reputation on the stream here, Randy. But I've done stupid things, and there's days when I've looked at Stacker and I've said, when you look at the probability of this, and there's so many uncommons and commons have come out, and rares and ultra rares. I think we should start buying the any unsold one. It's going to hit anytime now, and sometimes I'll do it myself. Sometimes I'll call Rolly and Tony and I say, okay guys, let's do it together. One. We'll see what happens. Man, the one time it was a $20 comic I don't know how much money we all burned through it. Rolly bought a bunch, I bought a bunch, Tony bought a bunch, and then we stopped and we finally gave up. Or I think we reached the limit. And then the next guy just hit it. Like literally after we stopped, it was like, God damn it. So, you know, these things you cannot, but I've done a lot of crazy things, yes.
Right, my son and I, Marvel #1, we bought like 20, and we didn't know back then.
Marvel Comics #1?
Yeah, we were just like buying and buying and buying and buying, and we didn't know how big was that, was it going to be. And I can't talk much about how much I've bought because my wife is near here.
Yeah, I mean, could have sold that for a pretty penny, and you might have done that. You might have been like, oh, we have a bunch, and these are like a couple $100 now. We'll just sell one or two just to make some money back.
I bought my 800th Marvel Comics one this week, and I said, look, I'm not going to post any more about MC1s until I hit 1,000. So, you know, people are selling. Thank you, I guess.
You have more ones than I do. I only have like 500 something comic, so I don't have a ton there. In other news, we have Blackpink that has announced X amount of weeks ago that they will be going back to a world tour. The world tour.
Nice.
Sorry. Yeah. In the same way that VeVe had gone on and sponsored Joseph Parker, do you think they might sponsor part of the world tour? Or is that it'll be like, hey, I don't know how much revenue brought in.
We better hit $1, man, if they want to sponsor that tour. That's gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they'll sponsor the tour, but I sure hope they get a music NFT. That'd be pretty cool if they can get a music NFT on VeVe. That's Blackpink.
Yeah.
And get some tickets for us too, right?
That would be so. There's been a couple of people that I've talked to that have kids that are younger, late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
And they had said, like, are you interested in this digital collectible? No. Well, what if it came with this? What if it came with like a CD? Like, no. Like, what if it came with something signed? Maybe. What if it came with tickets? Yes, absolutely. So that's where like that threshold, that line was.
Yeah.
I don't know how long or how much what they could do with that. Like only the secret rares come with tickets. I don't know if that runs into like sweepstakes laws or anything, but if there's a way they can incorporate tickets to like a local Blackpink show near them, that would be epic.
I think that's an interesting new market, Randy, with our technology, with VeVe, with everything that we do, partnering with somebody that sells tickets for venues. So each ticket is digital, right? You have the digital and you have the physical, and then you have access to other things. So I think that's a bright future, and I'm sure that David's already looking into that.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a lot of ideas, and he's chasing a lot of stuff that we don't know. I'm quite sure that he's working on some pretty amazing stuff. The one thing that I walked away from that conversation was all the level 100s gave feedback to David on MCP, saying, hey, listen, we love that million point MCP drop. And the sort of feedback that we shared was, makes sense that there's some drops where anybody who has 1 million points can go for it. Some drops, it might be good to also gate it with the level on VeVe. I mean, it's not just level 100s. Like you may have 1 million points or whatever it is, 500,000 points or whatever, but you got to be level 50 or level 75 or something like that, right? So have some stuff that is also based on, hey, Sven, how's it going? I shipped your hat today. That went out, so you probably got a tracking number from me on that one. Man, I think I shipped like 125 hats, and I've got another 50 more packages to go. But anyway, going back to that topic though, I think MCP is going to be very important. I saw that conversation today where people said, hey, if I have a low mint set or a matching mint set, we should get more MCP and stuff. I think those are all great ideas. They fall in the bucket of, here's an idea, VeVe, whenever you can do it, go get it done kind of thing. But I think getting, not financial advice again or whatever here, but having a nice base of MCP points are very important. Very important. I think it's going to be very important going forward. What do you think, Packaging Dude? Do you get that sense?
Yeah, I think there's right now too many MCP points. I think we need ways to use them. And one awesome way would be to VeVe merch. Let's say hats, jackets, stuff that we can say, okay, a nice jacket is 1 million MCP points, right? I'll do it. I'll buy a jacket with 1 million MCP points, right? So.
Yeah, they need to figure out a way to start burning them more aggressively, because originally I thought it was great when you just had 6 months to do it. But now that they're in hyperinflationary forever, they really need, which is okay if they have massive amounts of ways to burn those MCP points. Mm-hmm. If they don't, then they kind of become, whatever. Mr. MC1, you have completed an amazing set, like I did with the 41s. You have done it with the 120s. With the logos, how'd you get those? Jeez.
So when the different colored logos were dropping, the blue and the green and stuff, red and all that stuff, yellow stuff, I tried to find matching stuff, and then I could. The only thing that I could match up was 120. I literally had different devices. I looked at the screen to see which ones have which mints available, what price, and this, that, and the other. Finally, I got all the 120s. Then I said, okay, let me go find who has the VeVe Gold logo 120. And Dana had it. So
yeah, Sensei.
Yeah, so Dana and I spoke about it, and she said, look, Mr. MC1, it makes sense either for you to sell me all the other stuff or you to buy this from me. And so finally, I didn't have a good mint to give her, so she has to upgrade, right, from the 120. So finally, Luca, I forget how to pronounce his name. He's selling. Yeah, Luca D. So he was selling his mint number 87. So I gave her a deal which allowed her to pick up that mint and the matching V2. So I guess I funded the V2 for her. That was part of the deal. So she's a good negotiator. And every time I try to tell her, hey, that's a great deal, you're getting this plus this plus this, she's like, yeah, but I think I'm really happy for you that you have the 120 set. Anyway, so we got the deal done. That was not easy, but Data's amazing. And thank you very much, Data, for that deal. But now I have but I don't have the V2 120. So I know somebody has the V2 120. If you're listening, hit me up. I would love to, pick that up from you. I don't know who it is. And then the Ecomi 120 as well. That I probably know who it is, but I've not made an offer on it as yet or anything. So
just to address this here, there was a little bit of misinformation floated on Facebook before. Colty asked, is VeVe moving from Immutable X to Starknet? Keep it up. That comes from the post that Immutable had saying the IMX marketplace, as we know it, is being retired on August 13th, 2024. And some people took that and they're just like, oh, Immutable X is like shutting down, which is obviously the farthest from the truth. They had posted over on their Discord saying the Immutable ecosystem is filled with global and featured marketplaces found on immutable.com/marketplaces. As a company, we prefer to support these marketplaces and to help the ecosystem continue to grow. This mind, the Immutable marketplace will shut down on August 12th, but there will be zero impact to your assets as they live on the blockchain. The Immutable global order book ensures that any marketplace utilizing the order book shows the same listings for buying and selling. Immutable is fully focused on delivering the best product for our games and developers. The core products like Passport, Order Book, the rest of the one-stop shop. Onwards and upwards with Immutable, ZK, EMV, new product offerings in the ecosystem for marketplaces. Outside of that, did you guys hear anything else about Immutable? So long story short, no, VeVe is not moving to Starknet. But did you guys hear anything else on that?
No, I don't know anything else.
Nope, nothing.
Oh, where'd that go? Okay, there we go.
Nothing specific on next.
Well, I'm excited about Stacker, but I don't know anything about all this other stuff.
Okay,
I don't think there is anything. If there is, I definitely don't know about it.
No, we're on Stacker, we're on Base, and then that'll obviously be built out slowly but surely.
Yeah. But it's great. There's a focus on OMI, and the OMI to NFT is something that I value
Yeah,
tremendously. That means a
so
lot
that's
to
why
me.
I'll get more in the next couple of. I mean, everyone has their own thing. I think I saw Momi has like 4 sets, but like 3,000 collectibles. I think he's just got a bunch of the stormtroopers. And then Bruce Clark Kent has picked up his 8th partner statue, paying
Nice.
about $14.50 for that one.
Nice. I want to buy a second one. I only have one.
Oh yeah, gotta buy a second one. I mean, I don't have any, so I should probably get one. But things are starting. I feel like slowly move. They're starting to slowly go up.
Yeah.
Like the Spider-Man Noir, I was like, like if he goes back down to like 1,200, maybe I'll get him. It's like 2,200 now. It's insane. One day.
Remember, Randy, when you mention numbers, say they're pesos, not dollars, because my wife is hearing.
Oh yeah, I mean they're totally pesos.
That's one way. That's one way to talk about it.
There is in the other news here, I think somehow, obviously it's too late now, but in 4 years after another bull market, we should totally sponsor an athlete in the Olympics. Somebody made a meme of this guy, the guy from Turkey that got the silver medal, like me on Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin.
Yeah.
I would totally love to, and even if VeVe doesn't do it, I feel like we as like OMI Homies or gold and silver logos, we should try to do something like that.
Yeah. My wife was actually yesterday asking me, because I came back from the dinner and everything, but so excited for our ecosystem and what we've invested and our community and everything. And she was like, honey, when this happens, would you be able, because she loves the Olympics, right? Every day she's watching the Olympics, and she says, would you be okay by sponsoring a Mexican representative to Olympics, right? And I say, of course, yeah, I would. Plus your project, for animals, Randy, as well.
That would be great. We'll talk. We'll get some. I actually had a meeting about that yesterday, with Prince Manvendra. He said that if he, once I finally incorporate and finally get everything done, he'll come on the board as one of the positions on there. So it's shaping up slowly but steadily.
We need to get all these guys to get a VeVe gold and silver logo, man.
So I don't know if I could. Dr. Rashid Al Farooq will 100% get it at some point.
So
Prince
there's
Manvendra,
there's one I wrote to you about.
I saw. I have. Yeah, I gotta get up. I have to get. I gave you his VeVe name, right? Rashid Al Farooq.
I don't, but the team knows about it. Or can you just invite?
I gave it to you, and I think you gave it to the appropriate person to push them through to make sure that they're KYC'd and the KYC goes through.
Yeah, I think I did. Yep.
Yeah. So Mr. MC1, it came up in my Snapchat memories. Was today the 3rd? Yeah, today, saying comics #VeVe. Find 200 collectors that pay 1,000 for secret rare and hundreds for ultra rare, or 50K willing to pay $6.99. I say if you incentivize 200 collectors buying secret rare and ultra rare, then 50,000 users will come for $6.99. In fact, 200 more collectors will come and attract another 50K users. What do you think is the best way that VeVe can go and do that and incentivize those bigger whales?
I think they've started, right? If you think about just the level 100 program and how they've built this program, you've got a number of different people who are sort of packaging dude, Ernie, all these guys. Ever since this program has gotten built, they're all bigger believers in it. We would like to offer our energy. Oh, love it! Let's go! Come on, guys, let's win this thing.
All right, how do we do the giveaway?
It's up to you, right? Do we have?
Well, finish what you were saying, and then we'll think about the giveaway.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, once you get, when you have a program like as prestigious as this level 100 Prestige 1, I haven't shared all of the aspects of it because some of them are just conversations so far. But that program is highly incentivizes a lot of these guys to kind of sort of say, hey, wow, this is great. I'm going to buy more. I mean, I don't know about these guys, but I bought a lot more comics. I went into VeVe Comics and I bought a bunch, lots of them. And so that by in itself, when you go and buy stuff, secret rares or something like that, then now the guys who sold you that secret rare is thinking, oh my God, if I pull a number of these comics, I get a secret rare, there's a whale who's willing to buy it, now I'm going to pull more, right? And now they've got the money to go pull more. And so it's like a self-feeding ecosystem. But there's another thing about comics, Randy. I don't know how much people have figured this out or not, but my sense is that VeVe Comics, all these new comics, is like a comic store. They're not going to have, hundreds of thousands of comics on the shelf in the store in VeVe Comics forever and ever. It's just going to be too confusing. I mean, it's just not viable. I think they're going to take some of those things off the shelf. And I was listening to a space where David said something about retiring comics or something like that, and then a propagandist was kind of making fun, saying, that's how the rich people look at kind of burning things or whatever. I don't think it's a burn. So you just literally, I think what they're going to do is there's going to have, even though it's digital, they're going to have a finite sort of shelf space. And at some point, they're going to take these newer comics off when they get old. And even if they've sold only a certain finite amount and they're not available, well, you can't buy it. So there are 1,000 run comics. Some of them, only 150 have been bought, or 130 have been bought. And so at some point, if nobody buys them and they take it off the shelf, you're talking about the whole comic run that's 130, of which the number of secret rares might be 5 or 6. So anyway, those are very interesting kind of things. So I'm not saying go buy a bunch of junk, but sometimes, like I asked myself, I want to do the math on which is the least sold comic. Top 10 least sold comics in VeVe Comics, like literally 50 have been sold or 60 have been sold. It could be like any comic, right? And then those, I want to get a bunch of them, but I haven't done the math on it as yet. It takes a lot of time. But look, I think the comics, VeVe Comics is an amazing, amazing thing that VeVe did with Marvel. It's a brilliant strategy. It's already shown a lot of success. And if I had to guess, this is the next level. This thing is just going to keep growing and growing and growing, and buying new comics with those low mint numbers and low edition sizes. That's very exciting, man. Very exciting. Like, I've been buying all the Ultimate X-Men. I've been buying the Ultimate Spider-Man, the Ultimate Black Panther, all of these.
I think in the future, near future, we're having this conversation right now within the VeVeverse, and we'll have, you'll be in my house within the VeVeverse, and you'll see my favorite comics, you'll see my favorite collectibles, I'll see yours. And, everyone will have a chance to say, hey, I want that collectible, right? Yeah. And they could buy it from, it's not gonna be my store, but it's gonna be, I can choose and say, okay, I wanna sell, this one's for sale, this one's not, right? And then, so everyone can have access to this particular NFT. So there's a social part of it that our technology brings, right? It's an experience. It's tying a social experience or real life experience with a digital collectible.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of, and this is, I feel like, how people get in the top 500, or at least one of the more inexpensive ways too. Because I talked to a couple whales over the last week, and they're like, Randy, I'm buying like 40 things a week, and I'm still dropping like all the time. And I was like, damn. Now, obviously, they were in like the top 50, top 100, and they're just getting taken over. I mean, when you have people buying hundreds of things per week, and you can do that if you buy a comic for $1.25, $1.50. Have we thought about how we're going to do this giveaway?
Didn't we do a number last time?
We did. We could do it again. I can.
So each of us picks one alphabet, one number, right?
Yeah, Packaging Dude on Twitter or on X, message me just one number, Don't tell me what it is.
Okay.
And then I'll add that number to my number, and I'll text it to Mr. MC1, and then he'll pick a number, and then I'll decide.
Okay, so you guys are texting me on X, DMing me on
No,
X?
he's texting me on X, and then I'll
You'll
take
send
that
me-
number and I'll text you.
Okay, and I'll write down my number already, so there's no kind of.
Okie dokie. All right, I got that. My number will be first, and Packaging Dude's number will be second. Mr. MC1. And then I guess your number will be third. So text me the full number.
Yeah.
Sleeping. Yeah, sleeping. 100%. First appearances in VeVe. Dude says, hope he hits soon. Yeah, we all got to hit. Okay, so for this one, there's 305 people here. So
Can I send you the number now or later?
Yeah,
no,
send it to me now. Right now. I don't know if we'll get more platinum moments during D23. All right. We have the number. It'll be between and whoever guesses it first that I see on here will have they'll just get it. It'll be between 1 and 500. Go guys, go SpongeBob, go get it. And then we shall wait to see. Yeah, Sven Dongens is number 350. You can hardly get up. Oh lordy. All right, hang on. Here we go. What was this number again? Okay, all right, we're good. No, it was not 69. I wish it was, but it was not. There's 3 of us.
I was about to send you that number, Randy.
So I mean, I guess you know it's going to be between 100 and 500 because there's 3 of us. There's not going to be. Oh, that would have been cool if we had something like that. Or something like that. But it's not. All right.
So Randy, we need to do a VeVe family karaoke probably New York.
Oh yeah, we do that all the time. We'll get that, Brad. What's your favorite song to belt out?
Oh, my go-to song. Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me.
Don't you forget about me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh my. What about you, Mr. MC1? What are you going to belt out?
Where?
At New York Comic Con, we're going to have a karaoke night.
Oh, brother, I'm not going to belt out anything. I'm going to listen to you guys. I have a drink in my hand. They made me sing in Austin, and I thought I would bite the bullet with David.
I bet that was great. I'm going to give you guys an update. It's going to be between 100 and 300. Between 100 and 300. Sorry, wheels. It's going to be between, and I'll give you guys another update if nobody gets it in the next minute.
Is Mr. Sleeping Comics going to New York?
He will. He gets in on Thursday.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Man, if you guys are going to, if you're going to New York Comic Con, just shoot me a DM. Let me know you're going to New York Comic Con. Especially if you're a VeVe Golden Silver logo holder, just let me know so then I can.
Have you guys heard anything on Bit4X?
No.
No.
Okay. Because I last I heard people were up to like 25%. And then that was it. They just okay. We're gonna need to slow down the guys in here. I can't keep up with these guys. Yeah, people had withdrawn. It showed like 25%, and then it didn't.
Randy,
Yeah.
you want to narrow it down further for people?
All right, it's going to be between 200 and 300. I don't know if somebody actually already got it yet because I'm like a minute and a half. There's like 300 of y'all commenting.
I don't
But between 2 and 300. Between 2 and 300. Close your eyes. Give me
Great.
your hand.
Thanks, VeVe, for the gift.
Do you feel my heart beating? Do you?
When VeVe does this, is it out of the ones they keep?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
gonna be great numbers, right?
Well, it's not going to be out of the 1 through 40. It'll be out of like the 50. That's
Okay.
like.
But it's surely less than 100.
It doesn't have to be sub 100 because it could be. I mean, I guess it could be. It could be number, for whatever. We are close. We are close, but we're not. No cigar. At least
the
not
hardest
yet.
number to guess.
Okay, it's gonna be between. Well, I'm only up to 623 right now.
Okay, somebody got it. Somebody got it.
Okay, who was it?
I think it's Savvy Jar.
All right, Savvy Jar. It looks like you are going to be the winner, so everyone can stop with their commenting of the. I feel like it's gonna break YouTube. You broke it. You broke it. You broke it. Oh, name that reference. Name that movie. It's from The Mummy Returns, but it's intermission. All right, Sandra, you said you got it. You got a picture of the person.
Oh, I didn't take a screenshot.
Okay.
But you can go find it, right?
I'll find them eventually.
Actually, you know what? I have it here. 1 second.
Okay, cool.
I got it. I got the screenshot.
Okay.
So, Sean, let me just text this to you. I'll send you a text on it. So.
Okie dokie. And so, guys, the contest is over. Y'all can stop putting the stuff on.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, that was wild. What are we gonna do when we have Thank God they didn't do a giveaway when we had 2,200 people here the other day. Okay. Yep, Savvy Jar. Savvy Jar, you are the winner. And I wonder if anyone heard that we can. Wow, I would have been scrolling forever. Okay, in other news, see what else we got here. Mithril notice. Sorry, went over that. Oh yeah, did you guys get a massive amount of points the other day?
Yeah. I think there was some correction on MCP, so they just added the points. Who was it? Omar Kosaje. Omar, I think, had identified people were not getting all the points for something. I don't know exactly what.
It
might have been crafting,
yeah.
right?
Crafting.
And then so they fixed it. I got 23,000 points. I normally get 10,000 a day, but I got 23,000. And Dr. Rolex wrote to me saying he got 70,000 or 90,000 points or something like that. I was like, so he's been busy crafting for sure.
That is so much. I think I only got. Well, I got 6,700, and I was a master collector. But today, I got 3,270, and I am not a master collector. So that I don't know what the threshold is for master now. It's got to be insane.
Oh my God, we broke people's. Hey, Takeshi,
it
how
was
you
not
doing,
Charlie
man?
did my figure. It was
well.
the
Good to
Mummy
meet
Returns.
him and Dr. Dreas in San Diego. So, by the way, we had two new VeVe Gold logo holders in San Diego Comic-Con. Did you know that? Yeah.
I saw there were two that were airdropped.
Yes.
Are they? So those are the same.
Yeah, Huacas is one of them. So deserved, man. She's just so hardworking. And then Dr. Dreas got one as well. So two of them.
Spartan Wiz.
Say again.
Spartan Wiz.
What's Spartan Wiz?
Oh no,
I'm Spartan Wiz.
Yeah, disregard. That was the one. That was never mind. That was the one you bought from Dana. Disregard. So I saw Huacas. I didn't see who's the other one.
Oh, I bought Dr. Dreas. So I bought a logo from the market. I didn't get any airdrops, man. They're always finding any stuff. That's the one. That's the 120 I bought from. Thank you. That's the 120 I bought from Dana.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, but who's the other one that won? It was Huacas, and who's the other one that got the
Dr. Dreas? Do you know Dr. Dreas?
Maybe. Okay. I probably met. I feel bad. There's a lot of people. They're like, "Oh, hey, Randy." I was like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And then I was like, I have no idea who that was.
Yeah, I'm sure you get to meet her again. So.
Yeah.
Randy, we should make you an honorary 100 club.
They kind of did. They kind of did it. I don't know if my collectibles just didn't. I guess he thought I was level 100. Like, Randy, we got to get you for an interview. I was like, oh, okay, cool. because I thought he was only doing like level 100s, but then I was like, okay, I guess, community person. I guess they just want me in general. And on the post, they said Meow level 100.
Yeah.
So I thought they made like a reference to my Meow being level 100. It's a level 100 Meow, but then they deleted the video. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe just a mistake was made.
Randy, man, I'll tell you, man, if you do woof woof to Dashi, he actually might start talking. You keep saying meow. When you say meow meow to a dog, the dog's not gonna say.
Okay, so I am going back to New York for the last time, like tomorrow.
Oh,
And I'm going, and I have zero idea how to get Dashi back. I do not trust Dashi in like the cargo hold of an aircraft. I don't trust Dashi with FedEx. I don't trust USPS. I think I'm gonna have to buy a plane ticket for Dashi. That's the only way I know Dashi's gonna get here in good condition.
You say moving from New Jersey to New York?
From New York to Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see.
Well, there's ways in which you can do it. So you got to find out and get it done. I'm sure they'll let you kind of take it on a plane or something like that. You just have to get some permissions or something, I guess.
I have to buy him a ticket.
Yeah, maybe. Just find out. By the way, I meant to sort of say this about VeVe as well. I thought it was tremendous for VeVe to have its own booth because it enabled VeVe to promote other things that are not just Marvel. I think it's a great partnership they have with Marvel, and that's amazing. And maybe they should still, Marvel should invite VeVe to their booth as a guest to go do shit. That'd
be fun.
They should do that. I don't know why they didn't do that. They should do that just as a guest. Have them as they don't have. But VeVe having its own booth was amazing. It was great to see so many different IPs coming in there and so many possibilities as well. I loved the stuff they were doing with Addiction Comics. I love the stuff that they were doing with the Stan Lee. The jackets were an absolute hit. To have cartoon studios out there and all the executives, Andy Hayward and these guys, come up there, John, a bunch of other people. That was amazing. And then all the other, the 24/7 Comics guys. That was Carl Choi, those guys. That was amazing. I thought it was a hit. And I love it. And I really hope that in New York as well, they have like a nice booth with lots of different IPs and a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, they looks like it's going to be at double the size of D23. That is bananas that it's literally in like a week.
Nice.
I wonder.
They have a logo coming out, Matt. Why are we not talking about that? There's a D23 logo.
There's a bunch of, we can go over that I have it in my screenshots, y'all.
Yeah.
Where they at, girl? Where they at? I don't know when they
you
announced.
get a D23 logo if you are there and have a D23 membership. But if it's like a gold or whatever, some other higher tier, then you get something else. Or this,
You get it if you're a gold member, if you're a Disney Plus subscriber, or something else. So I'm a Disney Plus subscriber, but I'm not going to be there. So.
Yeah, I'm not going to be there either. But anyway, hopefully there's a path.
If someone wants to buy my Lindsey Sterling Duality VIP package for August 10th, then maybe I'll go. I spent $651 on that. So if anyone wants to buy that, I might consider going.
$600 you spent on it?
Okay, so it was a Duality VIP package. You get in early, you get a bunch of free stuff.
Randy,
I love Lindsey Sterling. I'm gonna.
What's the duality mean? What does duality mean? Yeah.
That's just the name of the package.
Okay.
Well, it's the name of her tour, so it's like the Duality VIP package.
And so you get to meet her and stuff.
You get to be in an AMA with her. The meet and greets were sold out, and I was gonna tell her when this thing called OMI reaches $1, I'll pay for a private concert for the gold and silver logo holders, and then but I'll still be able to tell her like how much, I'll just do it in the AMA, in the Ask Me Anything question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, D23 is hard to make. There's just too much going on, man. But you're there on the 16th, right, Randy?
There's cards on tail. I have a Sweet 16 that I was supposed to go to that day, and then I have a something else that might happen in those like 3 days, like the 15th to the 17th. And I know I'm supposed to be in New York City, and I still might be, but everything's up in the air, and I don't know yet. Because I'm leaving on the 18th, New York forever, so I still might be packing. I don't know.
Got it.
I know I'm featured in that magazine, so
you are featured in the magazine, right?
I think they haven't given me like a.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. The struggles.
Are you doing another movie, Randy?
Yeah, we had Pavle Stanomarovich go out and say we have another role for you. I was like, okay, cool. I'll do it. I'll take it. But like the first thing I did like 2 years ago isn't even like out yet. So it's like, so I don't know if I do something next year. It's not going to be out till like 2029 because the movie industry goes so slowly.
There are at least 4 movie producers in our community. Did you know that?
I know of 2. Who are the other 2?
More.
There's more.
I'll tell you later. I don't know if they want to be public or not.
Okay, that's fine.
There's like 4 of them.
So yeah.
Growing up, Randy, did you knew that you wanted to be like a public figure or?
No, I just started. It all started because the autism ran deep. No, there was a place called E4. It's short for Elite Four, and they had this website of kind of like Reddit, but for Pokemon cards. Want to buy, want to trade, sales data, and I was like obsessed with sales data. And so PWCC had like an auction on eBay like every 4 to 5 weeks. It would last 10 days, and it would always end on like a Sunday. It would start on a Thursday, and then 10 days later it would end on that next Sunday. And I would be freaking out every single time in like this tab. I'm like, oh my God, first edition PSA 10 Caterpie sold for $120. Why did it sell for $100? Like, what is so special about Caterpie? And I would make all these posts on like every single thing. And then eventually I was just talking to myself. I was like, okay, I need to like, so I made a YouTube channel talking about all like the cards that I had, why I thought they were special, why I thought they were undervalued. And then that was in 2020. And then later that year, when Earth 2 came out, I was like, oh, what if they got the Pokemon license? What if they did this? Like, partnered with Pokemon Go, they already partnered with Mapbox. And then that got me partnered with YouTube. And then when I tried to figure out what type of crypto they were going to use, it was supposed to be on GoChain. So I looked on GoChain for like all of the cryptos. I was like, okay, this thing called OMI, large supply, super small market cap.
Okay.
And then I found VeVe, and I was like, oh, that was it. So I didn't mean to be. It originally was just an outlet, and now it's, turned into a responsibility. I don't know how I feel about that. Expectations for the new big IP.
Well, what big IP are we talking about?
The one that David said like a month ago is like, we have a new IP. That the packaging is a new IP. He said bigger than Disney. Maybe he meant as big as Disney, or at least as notable as Disney. There's few things.
Wasn't that Viz Media? No.
No.
That's
I mean,
the
Viz Media.
Ultraman thing and Viz Media.
Viz Media is great, because they have Ruby, they have Ultraman, they have a bunch of anime.
Oh.
But that's I don't think that's what it was talking about. If it was, then
well.
but like I don't think I think half our community didn't know who Viz Media was before that announcement.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd love Pokemon. I'd love Harry Potter. I'd love Lord of the Rings. I'd love I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
Don't know, man. It could be anything. I mean, there's so many.
Physical, physical and digital.
Could be some fashion brand, you think?
Yeah, some fashion brand, some tennis shoe brand, something.
That would be pretty cool.
Sleeping.
By the way, I want to show you guys this thing here. This is what Fabrics gave me, broken crayons. And this, you see this? Oh, the camera keeps freaking.
What? Wait.
Hang on, let me just pull it out.
Yeah, get us closer view here.
My camera is self-adjusting, so it kind of drives me crazy. It tries to readjust back to my face. So this is basically broken crayons. So this is his signature piece.
Oh, that's epic.
And it's basically an artist who's got a broken crayon and a broken brush. So it's intentionally broken. It's not that I broke it or anything. See this?
Nice.
So the crayon's broken, and so this is like an incredible piece, man. Just he is such an amazing artist. It's great. Our community has such amazing artists. I invited him to the party, and I don't think he could find a hotel, to stay in San
He
Diego.
stayed at my place until like 5:30 one morning. I don't know where he went after that.
Yeah, he basically took an Uber from LA, and he filled the Uber full of artwork, man, full of artwork, lots and lots of artwork. And then we got to the party. He loaded up like this, the bell cart, at hotels.
Yeah.
He loaded it up, and he got some help, and he pulled it in, and he set up, and he just gave a lot of pieces away. And even where people wanted to pay him or whatever, it was like $20, $40, something like that, like he just gave his art away, and it was unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And, we're so lucky to have people like Fabriks in our community. Andres Labrada was sketching. We had Tihani Farr, Sozo Micah, a whole bunch of them. New York will be even more, man. New York will be even more artists. I mean, I'm already in touch with so many of them. But what an amazing, VeVe's become such a sort of this hub. They're able to bring in so many different artists from different places. And if you're in the community, you get exposure to all of them. It's such a cross-pollination of IP. It's amazing. I love it, man. San Diego for me was just incredible. I love the cross-pollination of IP, and that's spectacular.
So here's where Ernie's at.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity. I love meeting Ernie. Great guy.
Great guy, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's awesome. I've been chilling at his house for a while. I'll be chilling at his house for a couple more months before I go down to Puerto Rico. He's an awesome bro. And in return, I watch his dog.
And that's also something that I liked a lot about San Diego Comic-Con, that I got to meet VeVe family members, and everyone's so different.
Yeah.
I mean, in every way, honestly, in every way, we're so different. At the same time, we share something, right? That was nice.
Yeah, it's
visibility too. A lot of other IPs and artists and stuff are getting more and more familiarity with VeVe. They ask questions. Like the most recognizable thing is that hat. The VeVe gold and silver logo hat. When you walk around with this hat, the number of artists that kind of recognize you and tell you, "Hey, I want that hat," or "I have the hat," or whatever. It's amazing. And you can walk into a number of places too. Like even if you wear this hat and you walk into Tokidoki, man, they have a big smile on their face. "Hey, you're VeVe fam, come on in."
Sanjay, am I getting that one as well?
Do you have a VeVe gold and silver logo?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Why don't we? What? I don't. It just feels like you just landed from somewhere, man. Like I don't know.
Sanjay, I have everything and I have no hats.
Okay. All right. I will hook you up with everything. Please send me your mint number. Please send me your address, and I will get you everything. By the way, I'll get you the hat, this VeVe Gold and Silver logo hat. I'm actually going to place a couple of orders. So there's one that was missing, a couple of artists that I'm getting it made for, a couple of people on the VeVe team that I want to give it, gift this hat to, this one too, and then for you, I'll get you. I have one for you as well. This is the VeVe level 100 hat as well. So this one. I have one for you here. So
nice. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
So when I was talking to David in San Diego, he asked me, "Where are you from?" I said, "Hey, originally from Tijuana, Mexico, right?" And he said, "Well, you know what? Next time we want to do something in Mexico." So you never know.
Never know.
Never know.
I feel like that's the Lotto saying for New York Lotto anyway. Back in the day, it was like, "Hey, you never know." And that just, maybe that's where my gambling addiction came from. It was just from Lotto back in the day. We have had crypto going down quite a lot over the last couple of days. Many of things are going down double digits. Is there anything you guys are looking to pick up as the stuff is going down?
OMI.
Oh yeah, same fam, same.
You know what? As we always talked about, OMI doesn't go down that much.
No, it's down like 2%. It's like,
Yeah.
like I would go down further so we could get more, but yeah, there's just not a ton of people selling.
Definitely Bitcoin. Definitely Bitcoin. If I can pick up 10% more or whatever.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Well, technically, I only get 75 or 70% because YouTube takes 30, and then Sanjay gets 10% of that.
That's funny.
So
I don't know. You know, I just keep getting like Randy keeps dropping me stuff. Oh no.
no, we could have a 21 and up party.
Swan, no.
Private party thing. Sorry, you were saying? Or
yeah, you know, like every once in a while, I suddenly look at my wallet and there's like some coins in it. And there's like all kinds of shit. It's
PayPal, there's Definity. Yeah, you'll get a nice amount of Definity because they're really busy with stuff. Good things, all good things, I swear.
Yeah.
So they didn't get to my payment for July, so they'll double me up in August. So we'll get a nice payment there.
I got some Definity from you. I got a bunch of other stuff from you as well. Oh wow, look at that.
It's a nice
PayPal. PayPal, you get sold. Oh my man, all right. I wish. But I've been good. I haven't been drinking. I'm trying to. Dude, I don't know how you guys felt watching Deadpool 3, but my body dysmorphia has never been worse. Looking at Hugh Jackman in his just 8-pack ripped abs and just giant arms. So I've been running a lot this week at the gym, trying to diet a little bit.
Okay.
I can't drink until I lose like another 10, 20, 30 pounds. A lot.
To New York.
To New York. Gotta drink. I mean, it's still summer. I gotta drink at some point. Ernie says, wish you were here. Have a 5-cent party over in Cartagena. So there's probably going to be times where OMI goes from like 1 to 2 cents in a day. But I think we should have scheduled parties. We have like a 1 cent party, 2 cent, 5 cent. I think Dan Lee said that his 5 cent, we could have a 5 cent party in Oklahoma where he's at. One of the ways will be if they have an alligator Loki when we meet all down in Orlando, I'll pay for if you have a secret alligator Loki, I'll pay for your tickets either into Universal or Disney, wherever we go, maybe both.
Okay.
I don't know. Where do y'all want to go?
I don't know.
Cancun VeVe party.
I think I'd love to go to New Zealand, man.
I would like that too. Lord of the Rings was filmed there. It's one of the first places in the world to see the sun come up.
Yeah. And then if VeVe hits whatever, David would be doing just okay,
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure for Vegas, VeVe's not officially going to Vegas. I think David and Dan are just going to be like, hey, let's see there.
Yeah. They didn't confirm Decon this year, so I mean, they didn't say no, but they haven't said yes either. So
I don't think they're officially going. I think they're just going to go to unofficially meet some licensors, and then it's Vegas. The fam's going to be there. We're gonna.
So Snoop Dogg, man, if he's looking for another backup dancer in his videos, that's got to be Swen. Swen's got to be in his videos. I've seen Swen dancing.
Yeah,
he is a cool dude, man. He is one cool dude. And his brother and his friends, they're all the same,
Yeah, I gotta get him for my animal charity project as one of the veterinarians on board. I think he's already confirmed, or maybe I'm just putting words in his mouth. I don't know.
Yeah, German fam, please let me know. French fam, please let me know. UK fam, please send me a DM. Let me know if you're coming out for New York Comic Con. It'll help me and help you.
So Randy, physically, where would you have this ranch, or is it going to be like a physical place, or?
Yeah, there'll be 2. One of which is going to be in Madagascar. It's not going to be so the legwork to do that. You need for outsiders that are not citizens of Madagascar, you need a minimum of 500,000 to put in, which is fine. That'll be nothing in a few years.
Right.
But then the farther away, like you ever see Star Wars Episode 1? The Phantom Menace, where Padme is talking to Shmi Skywalker. She says, the Republic anti-slavery laws, and then Shmi says, the Republic doesn't exist out here. we must survive on our own. The further away you get from like the main area in Madagascar, the less the law really cares or has any power.
Okay.
So I have like 8 of my old military buddies that I told them like, hey, if I give you guys like 80K a year for like 2 years, will you patrol the perimeters of this sanctuary and just shoot any poachers? And they're like, I'll be happy to do that. I was like, okay, cool. So it'll cost a couple million to start up, but then once like the donations start coming in and all that, that'll be when it can kind of survive on its own. I guess it'll technically be a nonprofit, but I'll have a for-profit to subsidize the nonprofit. So that's where one of them will be.
Yeah, that's important. Every project finds a way to be sustainable. If not, it doesn't work.
Yeah. That's why I've talked to David about venture philanthropy, and he's been very coy. He's been very like, we have our charity arm, we're working on a bunch of stuff, and it sounds great, and I know they've done a lot of stuff. I just wish I knew the details. One, just because I'm curious, and 2, because I need to know for I need to know for my own stuff. Mr. MC1, what do you think about venture philanthropy?
I mean, yeah, I'm supportive. I'd love to see some progress on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my causes that I'm supportive of. I have a bunch of them that I support. Maybe there's something, Randy, that you and I can partner up on. I'm open to the idea. We've talked about the rainforest. I think we were working on a deal for you as well with the rainforest thing, right? I don't know. Maybe that would be a good one for us to kind of start some collaboration on, Randy, or maybe we can do something else too.
Yeah, I'm always open to all of the options and ideas, and that's one of them. And we can talk a little bit more privately about the rainforest stuff. That's always great. And we have that one deal that'll be worked out. And then if others come, that's also great.
That'd be pretty cool. If that deal works out, that'd be pretty cool, man. I like that deal, by the way. I love that deal.
Yeah,
and
that'll be. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's
that'll be between the 17th and the 22nd. Most like that particular stream. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. What did you say? Packaging.
So that's one of the opportunities in our community with our technology is that as a community we can help, and we can we have the IP for National Geographic, don't we?
Yes.
No.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't think they have it officially. I mean, it's under the Disney banner. National Geographic is at the D23, so we could definitely poke for information there, whoever's there. But I don't think there's any official signing. It's just that they're under the Disney brand, and we obviously have the Disney license, but they are their own entity.
I think nature would be great.
That'd be amazing.
If we like a white rhino, right, and only have 1,000 versions, and 20% of the aftermarket sales go into that specific project, right?
Yeah.
Just imagine, and then we can pick and choose as a community. We can pick and choose which one is going to be the next IP, right? The next animal that we're going to support.
Okay.
I love it, man. I think we should do this like once a quarter, pick an animal that's endangered.
Exactly.
And the mint size should be equal to or somewhere near the
How many are left?
How many there
How many
are?
are left in the world?
Yeah,
right?
and then name it after them too, right? And
Yep.
so every NFT that gets sold in the aftermarket or the thing, they can take a percentage of it and give it for the preservation or upkeep.
So as a community, we pick the animal and we pick the nonprofit, because there's always nonprofits out there that are already, are formal. We can vent these nonprofits, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do that. I'll do that all the time. I just need OMI, Definity, Flow, a couple other things to go up, and then we're good. But I need them to stay down for a while, for like the next month and a half, and then once I pack the bags fully, then
did I hear you're buying more OMI, or you may buy more OMI to get to
I
250 million, or was that just like a rumor I heard?
It won't be. It might be. I'll if everything works out the way I think it will, and it should, then I should blow past 200 million and get to like 220, maybe even up to like 230, 250, but definitely tens of millions more should be. Yeah. And then also, so just with the fund that I have, if as more people come in, we haven't done this before, we'll do it now with the OTC deals. It would just be, hey, here's how much you're putting in, here's how much we're getting for the OTC deals, and we would never really take any of that profit up front because we weren't cashing it out. We weren't like taking those profits, but any newer deal that comes on, if we're able to get somebody, like $130,000 worth of tokens for $100,000, we should probably take. It would be fair, I think, for me, because that wouldn't have happened without me, to take a small part of that. I haven't worked out any details with that yet. It could just be the normal 20%, but so if I do that with some, and it doesn't have to be, it could be any particular token. Yeah.
Man, I was thinking about buying OMI, but then I ended up sort of picking up a lot of VeVe gold and silver logos. I was actually thinking of buying even more.
Got a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I have 5 now. My wife has 1, so between us we have 6. So I was going to pick up more too, because like that's the group that I help on Telegram that I have found. I'm also involved in organizing the events and the activities. I know VeVe drives a lot of the utility with the art drops and all the redemption and stuff like that. But I've seen enough there to know that that's a good thing, right? Like VeVe's dropping stuff from Ron English, from Nick Walker, and these guys. So that's good. VeVe's also kind of giving a lot of utility for like these events and stuff. So I want to take it to the next level. And so I said, okay, if I had to make a choice, I already bought like 50 million OMI. So I was like, okay, let me focus on the VeVe gold and silver logo, maybe pick up a few more. That's one that I'm focused on. I want to drive that, and I had good conversation, with a lot of people about it as well. Like my goal would be to create these events that are just so prestigious that there's more and more artists and celebrities that want to be part of this community, and that'll drive up, like at least I think, so having like some, like it's great to have Pro the Doge, Andre Jake, and these guys, right? So there's a lot of VC, PE type guys who are interested now. They're into art and stuff like that. So I've been starting to have some conversation. So part of the reason me picking up these logos, at least if I have some, I can A, expose them to the stuff. B, if they ever want to buy it from me, I'll sell it to them. Not at a discount though. I won't sell my logos for less than 10K, man. To hell with that. In my lifetime, if something happens to me and my wife sells it for whatever, that's their business. But I won't sell it for less than 10K, man. So, but yeah, so that's kind of where my mind is and my interests are. I get the whole crypto thing and I get all the other things that you guys are doing, but my focus is on the VeVe gold and silver logo as well right now.
Preach.
Once I got to level 100, honestly, I've been buying minimal NFTs and focusing much more on OMI. So that's in the future. I think I'm going to buy whatever NFT I want with my OMI. Yeah.
And I have obviously a little bit of both. I'm obviously more heavy on OMI, but if there's something that has there'll be a level of arbitrage. One thing is going to pop up first, and whichever does, I'll just continuously do that. I can't wait. I don't know how long until this is out of beta. I don't think it'll take nearly as long as VeVeverse. I think it'll be over in a couple months, and this way everything rolls out at some point in Q4. Yeah. But yeah, being able to sell stuff directly for OMI. There's a couple things that, if they want my number 43 Luke Skywalkers, if they want one of my logos, if they want, whatever, I would sell the number 41s if I got a ridiculous price, and it wouldn't
What's
even
ridiculous? What's ridiculous?
Like 100K. Obviously,
for all of them together.
Yeah, and because that would be a good headline for VeVe. VeVe sells 100K worth in one transaction. Now, obviously, it'll be 4 or 5 of them, but that'd be a really cool headline. And then as that goes, and again, you see that green candle there for that, I feel like that'll really help other sets as well, other ones that are matching. And I feel like if somebody thinks, I don't know if you've seen the movie Crazy Rich Asians, but if you
several times,
that is nothing compared to what some of these people have. And there's there's a bunch of
Yeah.
millionaires in here. There's a bunch of 100 millionaires in here. I'm pretty sure Bezos Man's a billionaire. Prophet might be a billionaire, but they're out there. So if that were to happen and make that big headline, I think that's something that brings people in.
Well, if OMI makes it, Randy, you and your channel are going to be the bomb. They'll make movies about you. And if VeVe makes it, the VeVe Gold logo is going to be the bomb.
100%.
So, I mean, it's kind of simple as that, right? The Gold logo is the ticket into all these VeVe events and this, that, and the other. And I'm seriously, in my head, when I heard of this, I was like, there's a probability that VeVe is going to be super successful. And in that event, what's the one thing that's going to be super successful? And it could be Todd, could be Partner Statue, could be all these other things. But this,
I agree.
It's going to be super successful.
Yeah.
Sanjay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't met a person that hasn't met you and think very highly of you. Okay.
Oh, you haven't met the right people. There's a lot of guys who curse me on the internet.
And you do a lot for this community, and it's nothing's formal, or you're not, it's not structured where you're not officially part of the company or anything, but you have a lot of passion, and I want to tap into your mind a little bit. And before VeVe, were you passionate like this with another project, or I don't know, it's
not project per se. I've been a collector of different things in my life, and I'm also, I'm one of those all-in kind of guys. Throughout my career, I've been all in on a few things, and not saying I put all my money in it, but I'm my effort, kind of focus, kind of stuff.
Right.
So. For me, VeVe was one of those collectible platforms which I came into not thinking I'll end up, doing all this stuff and becoming, as big on the platform or collecting as much on the platform. But it's one of those. David's impressed me a lot. So I'm very impressed with David. I'm very impressed with Dan, and I like the vision. I follow vision. I follow visionaries. I follow people, and I see the vision. And along the way, the good news is I had time, right? If it was like when I was CEO of a company or president of a company, I don't think I'd had time for all this stuff. So right now I'm in that phase where I'm in private equity. I'm helping, PE firm buy something. And so whenever there's a deal, I'm super busy for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So then I have time, right? What do I do with my time? And I quite enjoy this. And I've spent all my life working. When I was in school, I was a chemical engineer. I worked in nuclear fuels. I was working my ass off. Through my career, I was working my ass off. Never really, carved out much time. Even at Amazon, I worked like crazy hours, man. You could count the number of days I took off on my fingertips. And, I'd work on the weekends and stuff. So very, it's good to see you too, Dan Ravis.
So, it wasn't easy. I mean, nobody handed you anything. You worked and attained all that. So, when I hear and see fudders out there with our community, I think about not only our leaders, but people like you and community members that, again, they're so, they come from everyone comes from different fields, different areas. Yeah. But I respect
community
that.
Intrigues me, by the way. So I didn't mention that. So community really intrigues me because I've done a lot of Web 2 type digital marketing stuff. I've done the version 1 version. At one point in time, one of the businesses I used to run, or not run, I used to be part of. That one I didn't run. I was part of the business, but they used to do the version 1, direct mail type marketing. And 1 in every 100 pieces of mail was from the organization that I worked for. And I helped re-engineer all of that stuff. So I knew that shit inside out. Then, the whole digital marketing scene, I was into it as well with Amazon and others, the SEO, SEM, affiliates, all that good stuff. Really studied it, became a student, learned it very well. That part I figured out. Web3 for me was very intriguing. It's sort of the next phase. Community is a very important part of it. It fits in, it dovetails into the whole social media has exploded. There's Instagram and TikTok and all this other stuff. and people are now heavily influenced, right? And so there's all these communities. Why do you want to go pay Google a shit ton of money, right? You can have your own community, these ecosystems, and there's multiple ecosystems, and there's all strategies of how you go into an ecosystem and how do you build into it, how do you attract people from other ecosystems. And for me, I cared, I'm not part of VeVe as a company, but what I cared for was the community part of it. Initially, I was just part of the overall VeVe community, and I was just giving away comics and all these streams and going on doing all that stuff. Then I realized, I said, I want to be more focused on it. So the VeVe gold and silver logo was one that attracted me because it was the people who David gave the card to. And initially he was just giving the shit out, right? But now he's got a higher bar to giving the card. And even the guys who initially just got it and didn't care about it and sold it, somebody else bought it. I mean, I got somebody to run analytics on it. I think about 89 or 90% of the VeVe gold and silver logos are with collectors at different stages. And I think about 10 or 11% was with people who are light flippers to extreme flippers. And that was like about 6-7 months back. VeVe Fox ran that analysis for me. And now, over time, more and more collectors are picking it up. So, but they're also giving out new logos. So this felt like the right kind of community of collectors where we could have, we could build something. And my thought process there, packaging with a great question is, look, as a community, we're a bunch of collectors, but what is a flywheel that can create value? And the flywheel is really artists. So on the one hand, you have collectors, on the other hand, you have artists. That's why if you look at my parties, they're focused on bringing in more artists. The more artists and art we have, the more heavier collectors come in. The more heavier collectors come in, the more artists. So at my events, I'm focused on bigger and bigger and bigger artists and different range of different artists. I'm focused on art at the events. Like this time, Tehani and Sozo were, sketching. Deals got done. You have no idea how many deals were started in that party, where a independent comic publisher looked at an artist and said, "Hey, can we do this?" And the artist went and spoke to others. So that, to me, that's something that I want to take to the next level. If I had to guess, I'm at level 1 out of 10 on that scale. And I'm going to take it to a 11 if I can. You know what I mean? There's no bounds to what I want to do.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
I want to bring Peach, right? So literally, I'm even I wrote to Peach. Thankfully, I bought a piece from her. Her DMs are open to me. I've written to her. I said, look, I'd love to have you. She said she's busy, blah, 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 whatever. But at some event, I will, create a mechanism by which a whole bunch of us will order commissions. I've told David as well, man, you got to help me with this. It's not going to happen this year at New York Comic Con, but I want to bring that caliber artist to the VeVe Gold and Silver logo parties and really take it to that next level. Well, you have Mr. Pax. Mr. Pax, you're going to need that logo one of these days, my friend.
Prove it, Pags. Buy my 41s.
He's a legend, man. His collection is incredible. He used to be incredible what he had. I know he's got rid of some of him, but I'm sure he still has some anyway. But yeah, so that's the logic. That's the thought process. And then the Ecomi SR logo is a very different group. Ecomi SR is people who bought 10 million OMI, at least 10 million, and put it in the app for 90 days when everybody was peak fun. And there was not that much, it's not that much utility for a utility token. So those are, people who really care. And they're in the VeVe app, right? So the fact that they put it in the VeVe app to get the MCP and stuff like that. So the intersect of people that have put 10 million in the app and 10 million OMI in the app and, have this whole VeVe connection. So that's like the sweet spot of people that collectors with a lot of OMI. And even if the guys who bought it in the marketplace, they had to pay a lot of coin for it. It's like a lot of people paid somewhere between $1,300 and $2,000 to get those logos. So to me, it made sense that VeVe will want to nurture this community because these are by definition, they've handpicked. And think about the people who put 10 million OMI in the app, A, understand crypto for the most part, B, figured out how to go L1 to L2 and then bridge into the app. That takes a freaking skill set in itself. The guys who got all that shit done have got some degree of intellect as well, and have got some degree of. So to me, that was another very, very interesting group, very important group, and I think that group is also, people just haven't. It hasn't. Yes, it's very new. VeVe hasn't delivered any utility. They've not promised any utility or something, but I'm hoping they do, right? But in the meantime, that's why we did the hats and we did all that stuff. Like, to me, I want to build that community packaging, dude. Like, that to me is very critical. I know I went on for a little bit there, but I want to make all those points out there.
Yep. Well, I just want to tell you that of course, I'm a collector. Of course, a lot of things within the community, but as an investor, getting to know people like you with your vision, with your experience, and so it makes me feel more comfortable. And that's one of the benefits that we have in this community, that you can meet people and understand their vision and say, you know what, I agree with this person, right? And when you invest in a stock, when you invest in the stock market, you don't have that access. You don't have that. In here, you have it. So.
Yeah, think about it this way. There's 260 some people in the Ecomi SR logo group. So whenever the market goes up or down, not financial advice or anything, but you can run polls. When you run a poll on X, all kinds of random people who know things, don't know things, random people just voting just to see the answer, whatever. But I want to run very high quality polls in there, not polls in there with high quality responses from people around sentiment around certain tokens or, things like that, where it's not any financial advice, but it's crowdsourced. Like, why would you not crowdsource sentiment, knowledge, choice, things like that in that group? And then also the Mentor Venture Hub is there too.
Yeah,
but we're not using it enough, man. I think we have to.
I know. We have a lot of data, and we're not using it enough. I know. I agree with you.
There's just so we can kind of set the record straight here. Not sure says, first time here. Mr. Armstrong, are you working for VeVe? What about Randy? No. Yeah, we don't work for VeVe. We love talking about it, and in a sense, this is like, but it's not. We're just having fun. And we like it, and so there's none of that.
I don't work for VeVe, man. Like for me, I've been CEO of a tech company and stuff like that. So I don't think anything less than a 7-figure check would interest me in terms of a job, right? Yeah. If it's less than 7 figures, I'm not interested in working anywhere as a job. So a lot of what I do on VeVe is passion, right? So this is stuff that I'm putting my time into and I really enjoy. I'm not looking to make a dime on it, like, so that's just a different, it's a different thing. And honestly, if I ever ended up working for a specific company, that's a real negotiation. And I expect to be compensated very well for what I do, and I've always negotiated reasonably well in every role that I've run. I don't think anything less than 7 figures is, something that I would, to me, that's a job. And if that's a job, that's a job. And, if VeVe ever becomes like this big ass company and David comes to me and says, hey, listen, I'd love for you to run some role, executive, blah, 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 maybe I'll consider it. But at this stage of development where VeVe is, and also my career, this is just a lot of fun for me, man. I got time. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you for sharing. And I know you have 10% of Randy's channel.
That would be great, Randy. We need a hat, man. Let's make Randy great again.
Well, I asked David if I could do merch like with VeVe, and he said that's fine as long as him and Dan get like the first 2. Like, okay, that's fine.
MRG, make Randy great.
We could do
make Randy great now.
Yeah, I would say that for Sanjay, if I were to ever. I don't know if I could afford to hire Sanjay even after OMI gets to, X amount, whatever we want it to go to. But it's not just him that you're getting. I mean, you are getting him. You're getting a ton of experience. You're getting a ton of passion, and I don't know any other company. It might just be a job to him, but if Sanjay's anything like me, and I'm pretty sure he is, for me, VeVe is like my drug, and like David and Dan are like my dealers. Like this is I need this. You know, it's so much fun. Like if I were to get an offer on those logos, I would immediately have to replace. Well, I'd have to replace all of them, but I'd have to get another gold one and have to get. I wouldn't say I'd get another matching set, but like I have to recomplete that set. I have to fill in those shoes. But Sanjay's network as well, like just the amount of people he knows. Like not everyone can know everyone, and that itself is likely worth that 7 figures. It's like people that get out of the military that have top secret or Yankee White clearance, and they get hired just for their clearance. You know, they get hired just for that. On top of the work that they have. But yeah, I feel like I've ranted a while about that.
I mean, I invest in early stage companies. So, you know, at some point in my life, I realized that I want to invest in early stage companies. I want to do private equity type stuff, which is the bigger companies as well. So I have investment about 30 plus early stage companies. And that keeps me excited. And, you know, that network, Randy, you know, I really want to introduce you to a lot of that network, those people. This is new stuff for them. Like one of the VCs that I work with very actively, he was actually in San Diego at the party, and he's coming out to New York. So which is going to be pretty cool. And then one of the companies I've invested in is in New York. It's called Terra Cafe. It's in Germany and in New York. It's called Terra Cafe. They make machines, you know, the coffee machines. They're one of the only ones that do, you know, the coffee from the ground beans as well as drip. And so they're coming out to the party, the VeVe Gold and Silver logo party. They're not selling anything. They're not selling a stake in the company. They're not selling the machines, nothing. They're just coming to make coffee for everybody in the evening. If you've had a few drinks and stuff and you want to enjoy some coffee, they're going to come out, going to have a couple of machines, and going to have some people there. So, you know, those kind of people, you're going to get to meet them, you know, the founders of these companies, the VCs who've invested in them, other investors and stuff like that. So that's you know, apart from the artists, that's the other section of people that I'm trying to bring into these events as well. So, but Randy, yeah, you know, man, like I want to expose you to as many of them and them to you as well. So
yeah, the artists you had at San Diego, it was Tahani Farr and her friend Micah. They wound up coming over. They wound up staying over until like 5:30, and then they're
party
awesome.
animals.
Yeah, it was just cool. I remember I didn't know they were coming. Metaverse Life says, "Hey, we have like 10 people coming over. Is that all right?" It's like, and there's already like people there. It's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Micah does work for Susan. Micah does work for DC. So she's done Catwoman. She's done some amazing covers for DC and others. Tahani's done work for Assassin's Creed, a bunch of other, you know, independent comics as well. So they're very, you know, they're both at Comic-Con as artists and signing stuff, and they have a tremendous following as well. So they're great artists. By the way, Nino introduced me to them in New York. So this is actually their second party with us, and they're definitely coming to New York as well. Both of them have told me. David's met them. David likes them. Hopefully we get some of their artwork on VeVe as well. But yeah, more, man. But, you know, Frank Cho came out this time. Frank Cho's got like 400,000 followers, man, on Instagram. So Frank is pretty big. And then Greg Land, he couldn't make it out. He told me that, you know, he wanted a hat and stuff like that. David Nakayama and I have become, you know, familiar now. So I talked to him. He knows who I am. He's agreed to do a commission for me and stuff like that. He couldn't come out because he was doing a Whatnot show in San Diego, but he said he'll try and make it to the New York one. So, you know, we're increasing that sphere of influence. And then David knows so many, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hopefully, man. Hopefully. We're working on it one day at a time, man. I mean, I'm you know, you got to put in the effort, man. We're on a scale of 1 out of 10 for those logos, man.
What I would love is in the next, and it doesn't have to be for this particular one, but Comics and Crypto posted that the highest graded copy of Fantastic Four #1 is coming to Heritage auctions. It would be great if they could have Heritage or even just the new owner of who gets the 9.2 graded copy. Or I'm sorry, the record sale was the 9.2, which sold for 1.5 million. So if this were to go in, as a 9.6, get a new record price for millions, and then they go and they say like, oh, now I finally matched the one that I have on VeVe. Like that would be, oh god, that'd be so cool.
Well, they're all there, man. Like last year in New York, the golden auctions guys were there. Sleeping, man. You have to be New York. You love New York.
Yeah, you gotta come see
Golden were there. Heritage auction guys were there. There's a bunch of others too, and we're working on getting more as well. So, I think it's a conversation to be had, man. You got to get Packaging Dude, Profit, 41, Rolex, all these guys sitting and talking to these guys and show them the collection and say, look, let's match this up, and then they'll start kind of paying attention.
So, I mean, here's a crazy idea with smart contracts, the technology where we're heading.
Yeah.
Could we let's say that if there's 1,000 owners of a specific VeVe or digital comic, and there's a real life comic that's going to be sold in auction, couldn't we create like a community and say, okay, let everyone pitch in $100, right? We need 1,000 people, so that we are owners of a certain percentage because we have that digital comic.
Independent comic?
Independent, or I don't know the legality.
24/7 comic guys, right? So they're doing Kickstarter, man. Kickstarter, you don't own anything. You're just giving money, right? You're donating money to somebody doing it. But they started Kickstarter for one of the comics. Oh, we can have a conversation about it, right? So I'm sure even Vincent and these guys at Addiction would be. I mean, we don't want to own the whole thing, or like part ownership, right? Is what you're talking about,
right? But
we
having
can do that.
Digital comic, gives you the access to invest.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And you can choose to invest or not, right?
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, a lot of the guys there, they buy secret rares anyway to put a certain amount of money towards something. Like they collectively buy something using the blockchain.
Right, and
like a DAO-like thing, right? You're looking like a DAO-like thing, comic DAO. Create one. We all kind of go in on it and go buy something. I haven't done a DAO before, but I know people know how to do it, so you set up.
Maybe in the future with the smart contracts that are
coming. I like how you're thinking. It's easier in a smaller group to start with a smaller group and then just open it out. So I think the level hundreds, we can chat about it, man. Like I think there's going to be at least about 15 plus level hundreds in New York. Maybe even might even get up to 20.
That's going to be a big dinner.
Oh, it's going to be a pretty big dinner, man.
Expensive dinner.
David's going to spend like $8,000.
That's, it is what it is, right?
I really like the idea, especially for like the Ecomi secret rare logo holders, because a lot of the VeVe logos they were given for free, but the Ecomi secret rares you really had to buy your way in. You had to have
earn it or buy it. Yep.
You had to have your OMI. So I think it'd be really easy for them in the level 100s if they do a fusion and they combine and say, hey, let's start buying parts of companies. Let's start buying and it'd be really easy to go in and do that. I a lot of ideas. It's going to be a lot of technical moving parts, but that'd be fun.
Yeah, makes sense, guys.
I can't wait for New York. I have people already have their locations picked out. They already have their hotels.
Yeah. By the way, the hotel we're staying in is not a level 100. I mean, I shared it in the group, but Tina and Rudy are there. Mr. 41 is there. Tony's there. A bunch of people.
That's what you said, right?
Yeah. But there's other people there. I mean, it's just, we've stayed there. Tony Rolex and I have stayed there, I think, twice now. So already, this is the third time we're going to be staying there. We didn't get a great deal or anything. That'd be sort of the next step. I keep talking about it. But the good news in that hotel, it's got a 48-hour cancellation policy. So, I mean, at least for me, it's a no risk kind of situation. Book the damn thing. It's close to Comic-Con. And then if I'm able to negotiate a good group rate at a hotel, all of us freaking move there. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully. But I'm trying to get the location first. I mean, it's very important to get the location right for the party. And that takes a lot of thinking and all of that good stuff. Oh, well, sorry, brother, you got to work on it. By the way, there's only 40 logos officially left. sorry, not been redeemed as yet.
Yeah.
You know, 40.
Oh, so a good amount of those are never
Yeah,
going to be redeemed.
12 are 2 digits, 28 are 3 digits, and I have all the mid numbers too. But what David mentioned was that they've given away some cards which are not redeemed. So we don't know. So the max amount of gold logos left to be given out is 40. The min, I think, is probably 20, maybe less. I don't know. So there's not that many left to be given out. And I think at some point, like there's a point where VeVe would have given out all the logos they have in the hands, and there's some that they gave out that have not been redeemed. I think they should just burn those after a certain amount of time. Like, you know, it's like the card's gone, right? If they had to redeem it, they had 2 years or 3 years to redeem it, and they haven't. So burn it, right? Oh, there you go. Tony's put the place on there.
No need to DM sleeping because that's the
place. Courtyard Manhattan, Midtown West. That's where a lot of us are staying, I should say.
The FanBam's pushing for another big house because hotel rooms are great, especially right next to each other. You have multi-party rooms, but there's something about, I don't know, having like a big place where you could have like, 30, 50 people. So
I think there's a difference between what you want to do and what I want to do. When like I want to party in your place, but when I'm done, I want to go to my place and sleep peacefully.
That's
it's like casinos, man. Like people go to smoke, and do all that stuff, but when they finish, they want to go and sleep in a non-smoking.
That's a good point.
So depending on what you want to do.
The best pizza's at Randy's place at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, the best pizzas are in New York, man. Anywhere, like a lot of good places. Tony Rolex and I, after New York, after whenever we finish, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever it is, we go have pizza, man.
I can't wait for that. That's one of the best things about New York.
Actually, you know what? Let's do a deal with a pizza company, man. No matter what time we finish in the night, let's get some pizzas delivered, man.
I'm in.
We all want to eat pizza in the night, right? After we're done.
Especially after you have a couple drinks.
Let's buy pizza with OMI. History could repeat itself. Remember when we bought a pizza?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting my OMI.
Not now.
Pizza places.
It's like the guy who gave away Bitcoin for OMI, right? No, Bitcoin for pizza.
Pizza time.
But we'll get some pizza. Let's do it.
So for New York Comic, I mean, I don't know if anyone remembers.
Omar, if you want to attend the party on the 16th in New York, just shoot me a DM. I can get you in. No problem at all, man. I'll get you all the details and stuff. So you're welcome to be my guest.
VeVe bet broke 5,000 collectibles in comics.
Whoa! Wow.
Patterns.
Man, those MCP points are going to be super valuable.
Nice.
He says, "I'm there. Get him, Omar. Get him."
Sounds good. I'll just DM you the location and details. Yeah. You're welcome.
So the time flies. It's been about 2.5 hours now. 393 people here. What have we not gone over? I feel like we've speculated quite a bit about I guess so. D23. There's one thing. Do you expect any announcements there? Like, hey, VeVe might be featured on a new Disney Plus show or anything on? No.
I hope so. I don't know.
Oh, okay. You looked at me. You're like, nah, it's not gonna happen.
I don't know is what I'm saying. I seriously don't know. But it'd be good. It's great to see VeVe at D23. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. It's great to see VeVe giving out D23 cards.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's D23 is the name of the event. That's a Disney event. But VeVe is giving away D23 cards on the platform.
The only cards VeVe is giving them out, probably. Right. Yeah. And it's our first year there.
Yeah, first year there. And so I think that bodes very well. I mean, Disney's got every reason to feel happy about VeVe, right?
Very, very bullish of that event. So.
Yeah. I mean, it shows the love that Disney has for VeVe, I think. I may be reading too much into it, but that's great, man. But Randy, if there's some big announcement, that'd be pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they would eventually, because there was one time, and maybe this has to do with just the VeVe Comics website, but there was one time David was on last year. I was like, hey, you have these QR codes that are in She-Hulk, they're in Moon Knight, they're going to be in the new Daredevil Born Again series. And you can get comics on their Marvel Comics app by scanning that QR code. And could I do something like that with VeVe at some point? And he says like, I'm pretend he didn't ask that question. It's like, okay. So I think at some point, one of those QR codes on one of those shows might go to VeVe Comics, and that'd be wild if they could announce that there. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
That's my goal. And VeVe,
I think if they can do a comic with VeVe written into it, that would be pretty nice.
Yeah. That you need to go grab that silver logo. You're already there. You already got the location.
VeVe Vet, you got to do it, brother. You got to do it. Enough financial advice.
Oh yeah, Dodger stuff goes to the same pizza place every time he's there. We got to get that. Crazy Denson. We discuss multiverse fatigue. I mean, I like the multiverse stuff. I think it's cool. But yeah, what do you guys think about it?
I don't have a point of view.
I think it just gives the flexibility and opens up every possibility for creativity, right?
Yeah.
And makes it fun.
The cloud would be amazing. Jason Payne says wifey works at Disney. He says it's a BFD. Oh, it's a big freaking deal to be a D23. All right.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to see it. All right. Anything else?
So
yeah.
Tony was joking because the Wolverine Deadpool thing did very well. It actually did very well. The movie did very well, right?
Yeah,
I thought it was a really good movie. Randy, what did you think about and Pagan, what do you guys think about going to a movie premiere? I think that was awesome, man, to have VeVe fam sitting together, freaking watching a movie with some of the celebrities and execs and stuff like that. That was a blast. I think we should do a lot more of it. How was your experience, Randy?
It was great. I saw a bunch of people, take pictures with a bunch of people. Going there in Pro the Doge's Cybertruck was like really fun because they put on beast mode and go way back. So that was fun. The drinks were there. That was cool. It was just very hard to beat.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to see Brother Doge there too, man. It's great that we have such people in the community, And then Amar was there too. Amar is an amazing guy, man.
Yeah, he's
awesome. To come all the way from
Dubai.
From Dubai for this event, I really enjoyed talking to him as well. And he spoke to me about, his OMI holdings, his family's OMI holdings, different members in the family and stuff. And I'm thinking, oh my God, like this is a really big deal, man. And such believers in all of this stuff too. So meeting some people there was great. But we should do more movie premieres. That's a checkbox. I mean, that should be,
I mean, every time there's when's Captain America 4 coming out?
Oh, I don't know.
All right, let's look at the rest of the Marvel movies 2024.
Yeah.
You have, I guess Kraven was supposed to come out. Where's Cat 4? They don't even have him on this list. All right, hold on.
I have a list. Somebody put out a list and I copied it, so I have a list. I'll send it to you later. I don't want to look for it now. It's going to take a while.
Oh, Cat 4 is not until 2025? Oh, that sucks.
Well, that's next year, right? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, it's in a few months, but still,
Yeah, it's not that far.
Yeah. I think that was the last Marvel movie then this year.
I think sometime we're going to be too large that we might just do our own reunion, our own, get together.
Yeah. I mean, when OMI goes so high and everyone in the Ecomi Secret Rare logo and just random people that aren't there, they just have tons of FU money. They're just like, all right, meeting here this weekend. There's probably gonna be parties every month.
Yeah.
And when you have that much OMI, it's like, okay, let's go.
Do you have this T-shirt, Andy?
Yes, it's upstairs.
Got it. Very cool. This one's a good one. I love this T-shirt as well. This is one of the well-made T-shirts. The logo, the way they did it was amazing. I love this one.
I like the way it sculpts my body.
Yeah, and then somebody in Europe is getting I forget his exact name. Okay, let me get the name. So they're doing VeVe Gold and Silver logo hoodies with embroidery and stuff. So his name is wait. I want to make sure I get it correct. Don Juan Solo. So Don Juan Solo, his sister and brother-in-law have a business. They're in Europe and they're making hoodies, VeVe gold and silver logo hoodies with the mint number and stuff. And he posted in the Discord. I ordered mine right away. I was like, you know what? I want this piece. And it looks pretty good. And he has like pictures of his sister and brother-in-law's workshop and stuff. And I've seen some of their work before as well in Europe when I was there. Some of the guys were wearing that stuff. Very impressive. So if you haven't, I'm not asking you to order it, but take a look at it. It's on Discord, and good stuff.
Jason, I'll be headed to the Ohio, so pretty much here for a little while, and then Puerto Rico. The Phantom IGN hosting parties. Oh, that'd be awesome as well. I mean, the VeVe Fem is like too big to try to like merge with any other parties. Like we had Funko last year, but it was so crowded. Even though we got a huge place, it was just. But also that was because people that got what's that Monopoly thing from Ron English? The Mogul Grin.
Yeah,
people who got that were able to go.
Yeah.
Some of them. Yes, I'll be saying Eastern Standard Time. But that's really it. I think now that VeVe parties are so legendary, they're so big, everyone wants to go. It's just, it gets really hard.
Yeah.
But we'll be our own party. Anything else y'all wanted to go over?
Nothing else, Randy. I mean, thank you for hosting. Pity that Alex and Rolex couldn't make it today, but
we'll get them next time.
Yeah, get it next time. Thanks for hosting the level hundreds. It was a good discussion.
What about you, packaging dude?
All right, Randy, I was telling my wife and my kids, this is my first opportunity, not only to be in the famous Randy Chavez channel, but ever in YouTube. This is my first YouTube presentation.
First appearance.
First appearance, FA packaging dude.
So we need to get your background all done up now. You got to get all your stuff. Okay. You need to find a space where you kind of put a bookshelf and stuff, and
I know.
Yeah, get all your VeVe stuff there, and we got to get you some VeVe merch as well, and the hats for sure, man.
Yeah,
the hats are coming. I'll ship them on Monday.
I feel naked.
No, the white one I have here, that I will ship, the level 100 one.
Thank
you.
The
other one, I'll order one. Just can you send me your mint number? Actually, I probably should have it, but just to make sure.
I'll send it.
If you have multiples or whatever, just send me the mint number that you want done. Or even if you want multiples done, just let me know. I'll place the order. That takes about a week to 10 days.
Thank you.
But I'll ship you the VeVe Gold and Silver logo hat as well.
And Sleeping Comics, if you're there still, I want one of your hats, okay? I'll do whatever it takes.
Seems like I'm all about. Yeah, we'll get him. We'll get him to do it. Let's do let's stay on after I end the stream for a second.
Sure, absolutely. Happy to do so.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the super chats.